alive
guys.
with cats. Herding cats. That's what we are.
Puppies,
Sassing cat.
apparently.
Oh my god, it took us
Puppies.
10 minutes to go live because we kept getting distracted.
Yeah.
Hey,
We
that's
literally said,
not
alright, let's
fine
go
for
live.
me.
Distraction. Let's go live.
That's fine for
Distraction.
me. Remember, I was running late. So sorry, guys. A little bit's my fault because I was running late, but as
Yeah,
they were
our
saying,
tank didn't
they
want
got
to turn
distracted.
up. Jeez.
That means we get to say our favorite line. God damn it, Kalar.
Hey, Kit, how you
damn it.
doing?
Hey, but it wasn't my fault because I did tell the DM to start without me and I'll join in, and then you guys got distracted. So that's not on me, is
No,
it?
man, we decided we probably couldn't survive without our tank, so...
We're
And plus,
in
they gave us
safety
extra time
now,
just to do weird stuff.
right?
Are we?
Are we?
Well, we're behind locked doors with some kind of magical
Are
water
you?
keeping the creatures at
Are
bay.
You
I don't know
mean-
what's going
Oh,
on. Let's.
that's where
let's-
we are. I forgot where
have
we
a
were in the
recap.
campaign.
You know
I
what?
thought we were still.
Let's
I
have
thought
our
it was about
dungeon
the
master.
hunters or something. I forgot about the weird wolfy thing. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hello.
I did not forget.
I don't want to be here anymore. This is when when Sam will formally say, "You cannot use me as the animal guy." Okay, you cannot use me as the animal guy
Hey,
here.
animal guy! Yeet!
No fastball special. No
So hello, everyone.
We've already did that once a couple of sessions ago.
We did.
Welcome back. We are
Uh.
playing Dungeons & Dragons. This is the Trials of the Xel'nari.
This is the trials of our patience.
The Dungeon Master's patience.
I'm so sorry, everyone. We have not had a game in 2
Sorry.
weeks, and so we're all
Let-
over the
let me
place.
just-
I'm really excited to be here, okay?
Let me just copy paste all of the enemies so we can double the quantity.
No! No!
Fireball! Fireball! Fireball!
Wait, I was gonna say, you prepped Fireball, didn't you, Rory?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
Alright.
I didn't say how big is the room. I said I cast fireball.
So, the party has been traveling for some time, even into the Demo Empire, which is a xenophobic empire of imperialist totalitarians, who very, very much hate anyone who is not a human. Even more so half-breeds, because they believe they are abominations beyond all good. They managed to make it out of the Demo Empire rather unscathed, but have now crossed back into the territory as they've made their way up into the mountains to Monominoto, which they have finally arrived at after several weeks of travel. And they're here under the guise of hopefully stopping a war. However, upon reaching the outskirts of the city, things were not what they expected. The city seemed to be abandoned, and the chill of winter had definitely settled in up in the mountains. And with a storm brewing on the horizon and the snow starting to come down heavy, there was strange cackling sounds in the mountain. And from behind them, these strange wolf-like creatures that seemed to have glowing eyes, and their mouths, when open, seemed to glow slightly as if burning from inside, started approaching them, stepping out of the snow, almost blending in perfectly with it, making it extremely hard to see. And it was not long before the party realized that they were severely outnumbered, and with countless others in the snowstorm, it was better to beat a hasty retreat, where they rushed back into the city itself, which laid abandoned, with no bodies in sight or any real signs of conflict. But upon moving back in further into the city and getting closer to the fort, they were helped by some demo soldiers who came out to assist them, covering their retreat into the fortress. And that is where we are starting, with the doors slamming shut as the demo soldiers retreat back in, and the party has made it inside the fort proper.
And,
I'll change the players over onto the new screen.
New screen. Maps. Dun dun dun. Oh, I should let it roll 20.
Yeah, you probably should, bud.
Probably. And your character sheet in case you haven't got that going.
That one's there. That one is there. I've got that one done. That's fine.
Just remember the magic initiative button. We'll be using it shortly.
Oh.
For the inside
gosh.
and outside threats that suddenly befall
All right.
us.
So for our audience, let me just update the map. Oh God.
Alice,
Where
do
are
the
we?
thing.
Yes, Alice, do the thing. Me. That's me. I do the
That's
thing.
you.
All right, guys, we've got a map. Can you remove the turn order, please?
I can, but we'll probably need it again shortly.
Oh dear.
Are you sure you wanted me back, Ash? Are you sure you wanted me for this?
Oh, that's
Well,
the map.
This is where we
There's
make our
a
final
number of
stand.
ways that this can go into a fight. There's a number of ways. I have prepared for hopefully all of them.
I think one of them is
you-
our existence.
Did you prepare for explosive
think-
toilets?
Yes.
Explosive personality.
I like how
Boobsplosion.
Perfect is already measuring terror.
Explosions.
As you rush your way inside, you find yourself in a dimly lit hall. The building itself is quite large, and the hall you're in seems to be more Viking in style rather than Japanese, as you would expect from the Demo Empire, based on their architecture. The center hall being large, but divided with two grand tables that have kind of been split apart and shifted over time. Rugs and carpets and furs line the floor as a kind of communal gathering area. You can see that the guards have hastily stacked up furniture and crates and other belongings as a form of temporary barricades watching over the doors, and have done what they can to reinforce the doors from the other side. Though there are not many of them in here, you hope that there are potentially more elsewhere in the fort. Standing before you is a rather young Japanese lady, dressed, though, however, in full general attire. She has two swords at her hip, and she is carrying a rather large bow that she has down by her side. You remember her being the one who stepped out the front and fired the first shot to signal your retreat. She is looking you over, but another guard has stepped his way in front and kind of is sizing you all up as you gather yourselves and catch your breath after the quick run inside.
Storm is-
Behind her,
Oh, sorry. Go.
behind her, you see another lady laying on the carpets and leaning up against a bench. She seems to be quite badly wounded, and another of the guards is attending to her currently. Apart from that, the place is quite dimly lit. It seems that they've only lit enough fires for or candles just for the area that they are currently occupying, which leads you to believe that potentially there is no one else within the fort, that it lays abandoned otherwise. They are not the first to speak, though. They seem to be recuperating themselves as well.
Storm is like classic cat, fur on heckles, hissing at the door.
Mug will have a look around and go over closer towards the woman with the bow.
Sam is looking at this new character Dungeon Master on the screen that we see. It looks very nice.
Yes. Here I am.
Well, we need our narrator.
Yeah, but in general, just sticking near Kovek.
Yeah.
This is the whole, like, we're in their territory now, so I'm going to move Sam more over to where the big people are.
I
Where
know
the wild things are.
Yeah, there we go.
And I'm going to move more towards the edges of one of the tables and kind of hop up on the table. And I'm just going to rub my hands together and whisper some words and cast some prestidigitation and just make the entire interior of my coat heat up and cause like this slightly visible puff of warm air to just erupt from within her collar.
Now, what are you doing farting in the presence of new guests?
If it's a bit-
hall,
She's cold!
the hall itself is unfortunately still quite cold, even though you do not have the snow and the wind billowing against you anymore. The few fires that are in here are just not sufficient to heat up the large space. So
I'll
there is a
produce
little
a
bit
little
of warmth as
flame.
you move towards them, but yes, other than that, there's not much for you.
Yeah.
Thalai's right
I'll-
at home.
Just like, this is fine.
Yeah,
Actually,
I'll
I'm
produce.
sweating a little bit.
He's
like,
about
"Oh,
to get
it's-
naked again.
I'll produce a
Um,
little flame in my hand just to kind of keep me
Storm, you
toasty.
notice the two guards in front of you kind of eyeing you off and the others off quite suspiciously. They seem to be not so happy about your presence here.
Upon noticing them, she sits down on the floor. Prowl. She just starts grooming herself, as if nothing in the world is wrong. She is a proud kitty cat.
The guard in front of you, Mug, approaches you, looks you over and goes, "What are you lot doing out here? This is not safe, could you not see? You just blindly come walking into the city?"
No. There was no knowledge in the nearby towns that there was any threat up here. We came up
course not.
here with an important purpose. May I speak with whoever is in charge?
You may speak to me. And at that, the lady behind puts a hand on his shoulder. Goes, "Harrow, we're all friends right now." And steps forward. Forgive him. He is being charged with my safety and will do anything for it. My name is Asami. I am in charge here. Well, at least now I am.
We
You said you were here for a purpose?
We are the envoy from the Xel'nari.
Yes, my father spoke of we were expecting you, though. It is not exactly on good terms.
I think such official business can be delayed until immediate threats are dealt with. Now, if I may speak rather frankly, what the fuck were those creatures?
Your guess is as good as mine. They appeared a day ago, maybe two. All kind of been a blur lately. And came from the mountains and attacked without warning. We've never seen anything like it here. The city stood here for a while. Generations, nearly. Nothing like this has ever happened.
Ash?
Hmm?
Storm is listening to this conversation over her shoulder. Doing the classic, I'm not listening, cat ears turned behind. Can I do an insight check into any number of these people? 1, 2, or the person talking, whatever you decide is most feasible, to see whether they've been under some sort of influence or anything like that? Like, have they lost time?
You could attempt an insight on one of the guards in front of you. You're looking towards them, so you'd be able to look them over.
I mean, I can look behind me at her and whatnot, but I just want... Oh, that's terrible. Insight... It's 12.
It doesn't look like they've been influenced by anything. They look tired, as if they have been probably awake for the last 2-3 days.
Okay.
With very little sleep.
Mm.
This Kovacs gonna hop up after having warmed herself and walk towards the conversation with Mug and Asami and say, General Toyota, it is a pleasure. Have you managed to capture any of these creatures alive or dead?
No. They're quick to, well, eat their own.
Interesting.
They act as if starving, ravenous animals, but I do not understand how with what they have already consumed.
They have been present here for a few days. Are those are those around us all that remains?
Correct.
And how many have you lost over the past few days?
The town itself numbered about 100. And the regiment that my father brought here numbered 300.
And how many of these creatures have you seen at once?
Dozens. They attack with the storms. I think they bring the storms. They use it as a disguise, a way to move around.
So,
They seem to come out of nowhere.
so they're attacking in waves and wearing you down.
Yes.
Ash, does this phenomenon seem even vaguely familiar to Storm, considering her home?
No.
Okay, just double checking.
And I'm pretty sure that I did a... Did I do some form of nature check last time to determine these? I got a high roll and still was like, I have no fucking clue.
Yeah.
I can't remember if that was something I did or not.
Yeah.
I could always
We all
try it
check-
again.
I think we all
Yeah.
check to see if we recognize the creatures, not necessarily the storm.
Yeah, there's the creatures that I was going for, not the storms.
When they attack, is it only during the day, only at night, or is it any time?
I wish it was so predictable. No, anytime. The only slight warning that we get now is we see the storm coming in, settling down low, and the mist rolling over. But when they first struck, it was without warning, and we lost a full half of us before we could even respond.
Does the storm always come from the same direction?
No, all around us.
Wonderful.
It seems someone over there is injured. I can help them if you like.
Ah, yes. My aid, care. I do not think you can help her, though. Our healers have tried, and it's whatever these blasted things do. The venom, I would strongly suggest not getting bit by it.
Interesting. Sam, perhaps we could collaborate on this.
You said there's a venom. Do I have my usual detect poison disease? Nope. I do have a lesser restoration prepared. Is anyone afflicted by it at the moment? Did you say? Or...
Yeah, that person there was bitten
Akari
by
is
it.
afflicted. She
Yeah,
was bitten,
okay.
fending him off.
I can go have a look and see if this might work. If that is with permission.
Of course, if you can help.
Sweet! All official and then just bumbles off.
As she turns around, she calls out to the other guard attendant, Botan, let them approach.
Can Storm follow Sam and just observe? Except
that's happening.
she kind of potters along on 4 legs instead of 2 and like prances over.
The first thing you notice upon approaching her is that she is an elf. She is not human.
Interesting.
Don't forget to move your character.
The other thing you notice is
Yeah.
she is not wearing a slave collar.
This might be something else. That's fine. At this moment, that's not what Sam is interested in. Sam is like, okay, as a person, they need fixing. I might be able to do something, and then we can get to the dirty questions because they are not currently being get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
Mhm.
Except for like that one guard, but protection duty and all that. So Sam will toddle over and just get about knee height, probably. So like, did you come along with me, Kovac?
No.
Yes, sure.
Storm followed you.
As well. Yes, I didn't know if Kovac was coming as well to do an investigatory sort of research notes or not.
I'll approach it from the arcane direction.
Storm's gonna keep an eye out on a medicine level, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
As you look her over, you can immediately see the wound on her arm. It definitely looks like something is latched on and bit down deep. It's dug in very, very deep. In fact, you could possibly see bone. The wound definitely looks infected and quite nasty. It looks like the skin has started to rot away slightly. But the more interesting thing is that there is white fur starting to grow from around the wound as well.
I see.
Uh-oh. Okay. I will... hoping we're going to get a rest with this. We might not, though. That's fine.
The girl herself looks almost in a trance. Her eyes are glazed over and slightly milky, and she seems to be off with the fairies. She's not paying attention and not even aware that you have approached her. Her breathing
Okay.
is extremely heavy.
I-
The guard named Botan looks over at you and goes, "Regular medicine has not worked, and unfortunately, our clerics have fallen."
I
mean,
give it a shot, Sam.
Sam's hands will kind of glow, a mixture of like red, green motes, as this is the usual, over the area, and will cast Lesser Restoration. Potentially might be a remove curse situation, but I don't know that.
You see the wound itself react to it. The obvious infection seems to lessen as the skin becomes less pale and viscous looking. There's less pus as it seems to not fully heal, but definitely get better. But it still looks extremely nasty, and it doesn't look like it has removed whatever the effect is.
That's
Oh
what I
dear.
thought. The infection itself, of probably what came in afterwards to the open exposed wound, is what I'm assuming is gone, but that the fur is still there and the kind of rot.
Even before your eyes, you can see it starting to spread slowly.
Can I do a medicine check just on this observations to see if I can spot anything?
And can I roll to see if Kavek recalls anything along the vein of lycanthropy?
Yeah, roll for it.
Okay.
Are we going to start using silver coins and slings?
We might have to.
What kind of check would that be, Ash?
That would be an Arcana.
Arcana? Excellent. 26.
Right, and what was your Storm?
13, not very good. I presume I observed the generic basic stuff.
Yeah,
Nothing
you've observed the wound needs proper dressing, but it looks like it has rejected any kind of medicine that they have already attempted on it.
What kind of...
As for the Arcana,
Never mind, I'll ask afterwards. It's all good.
as for the Arcana, you have definitely read stories and learnt about lycanthropy. This seems to have similar merits to that. It's showing the similar signs, except it seems to be, rather than an effect that happens during a moon or anything like that, it seems to be a permanent effect that is coming over her. At least it looks to be so. And the creatures themselves definitely do not seem like werewolves. Something else together.
Just because I'm curious, I'm going to pull a silver coin from my pouch and place it atop the affected area.
Nothing seems to happen. She doesn't seem to react to it at all.
Bother. Well, worth a try.
What kind of fur does it look like? Is it akin to any particular animal? Is it...
It looks...
Is it soft? Is it more wiry? Is it
no,
long,
it's
short?
more wiry, quite matted. It looks kind of rough and different shades of white and grey. It would blend in very well in a snowscape, but it looks almost slightly rotten as well.
This is going to be beyond my ability, I think.
I think unless you had major restoration.
Yes.
Let me have a think. Let me have a think. Let me have a think.
Asami turns back to Marg and goes, it was worth a try. I do not think there's much we can do for her, unfortunately. My father felt much the same way.
Not here. Are you planning on trying to ride out the storm? Or do you wish to seek assistance?
We sent for aid, but I do not know how long it will take to get here. Probably a week at least. No, our best bet is to get out of here, but till you arrived, we did not think it was even possible to move through the area. Any attempt we have made to leave, they have attacked. We used
Here's
the
the
last of
thing.
the water just to keep them at bay.
Yes.
Perhaps I should explain about that.
Please.
Before our last cleric fell, he was able to bless some water for us. They seem to be affected by holy water. It leads me to believe that there's some form of demon or fiend.
Interesting.
One other thing that was interesting was they did seem that they were corralling us into here as well. Well, coming up into the mountain tops, we didn't encounter them at all until we got to this position, and then it seemed that they wanted us to get inside. At least from my point of view, they wanted us in the pen.
They seem to have made this some kind of feeding place for themselves. Perhaps a
Yeah.
new den.
And I imagine purely based on the condition of your associate that she will be turning into one of them.
That is what we fear.
You mentioned your father fell to one of these.
Aye.
Do you
I was
mean
supposed
that
to
he?
kill him
Oh.
before we could find out.
Right. Apologies for the sensitivity on that, but
It's the demo way.
Have any other combat techniques been especially effective against these creatures?
We have not really had much time to try. Most of what we have done is to defend ourselves, not make tactical attacks.
Do they react to fire?
We have no magic casters here, and what little fire we have is just enough to keep us warm through the night.
Well then, we've arrived just in time.
I'm trying to think if there's any spells I've got access to. Well, can get access to, but I have a feeling I don't have anything further.
It would seem entirely prudent for your associate to be contained elsewhere, if that is at all possible.
I will watch over her. I'll be the one who decides when her time is up.
Well, if she is to be fully overtaken by this effect, it would be prudent to have a live subject.
At this, you can see Asami visibly get angry at you.
The lie looks
I-
at you.
She's
I think what she is
Very
trying
practical.
to say is we would not wish for her life and her deeds to go without merit. Surely, if she could, through her life or her death, save others, would she not be willing to do so? Would that not be an honourable action to take?
Roll a persuasion for me, please.
$26.
Perhaps, but plan one way or another to get her out of here and find a cleric as soon as possible before anything can happen.
Ah,
Yeah. This is last resort
optimism.
if it was
Respectable.
simply to happen before that would. You know
Um,
what? Different
She
ways.
looks
Apologies.
over your shoulder, Mug, and goes, perhaps it's good you call your associate over here. And as you look back over, you can see Thog is kind of sizing himself up against the other guard, who definitely looks to be
Um.
at the ready in case something was to happen. He has his hand on his weapon, his glaive, and is basically just looking for any reason to attack. You can see it just in his pose and his posture and the way he's staring at Thog.
Does Storm also hear this?
No, she would have said it soft enough only for Mug to hear.
Hey, Thog. I got a bet for you.
Eh? Bet what's that?
Come over.
He kind of like looks over his shoulder, looks back at the guard, just comes over, is like, whoa, what you got?
At some stage, we're gonna have to bust out of here. We've been discussing possible options. What do you think about a friendly waiver for who can kill the most of these beasts? 10 gold. You in?
Ew. So as long
Now,
as I can use him as a battering ram.
In the meantime, we need to make sure we're not getting surrounded. Can you check if there's any other doors into this place?
Alright, I'll do a perimeter check. No problemo.
If Storm hears this, she'll follow him.
If we are to be beating a hasty retreat, there is one thing that... Well, several things we should check on. Wisteria. She'll conjure Wisteria forth on her arm. And are there any windows in here?
There are several windows, though not in the room that you're in. Not at least not at ground level here.
Is
they're
there a
quite
chimney?
higher up. Yes, there is a chimney at the back.
Is it actively producing smoke?
No, it is not lit.
Okay, I will ask Wisteria to fly up. I'm gonna ask her if she can go to the gates and check on our carts and horses. And following that, I'm going to ask if she can maintain a bird's eye view of the area and return should she see any storms approaching. So, for the duration of her flying to and examining our carts, I'm going to watch, and I'm just going to... I'll just leave her to it.
Actually, relevant point. Did the storm stop when we got inside?
No.
Okay.
It is quite heavily snowing outside now, and you can hear the wind has picked up quite a lot. It's actually gotten much worse since you've gotten inside.
Does this storm seem unnatural? I presume probably, but
In winter and high up in the mountains, not really. This could be a natural storm.
well, because I mean, storm comes from a very stormy place.
Different kind of storm, but yes.
But she's still familiar with the feeling of the wind and the way that the atmosphere should feel, the air, like, yes, it would be slightly different, but does this feel
Make me a nature
like
check.
a proper storm, or is there something off about it? Oh no,
You're trying to
it's
judge
cold.
the barometric pressure.
She's
Yeah,
too
I
busy
think
being a cat.
Your whiskers are too cold for you to really pay attention to it.
I presume that was what, a survival check, was it, or nature?
Nature.
Nature. That's
All good.
it's cold. Her whiskers are
Asami
frozen.
moves over to Mike again and just goes, "Forgive the others. They were my father's men, not mine. Hatter and Botan are all that survives of my own guard, but they will listen to me. The others are, well, like the rest of my empire, which I'm sure you're too familiar with." So, you never did tell me. What was your purpose coming here?
We were to engage in diplomatic discussions with the people in charge of this fort.
Diplomatic discussions to what end?
I believe to the nature of the amount of forces here. But those discussions perhaps are better suited for another time.
We have plenty of time. Till we
And
work out a way out of here.
In that case, are you here for war?
We are soldiers, but if you mean what I think you mean, that is not my purpose for being here.
Soldiers do not commit war. Soldiers fight. It is officers and politicians that commit war.
Spoken very much like my uncle.
I've been around enough soldiers in my life to know the mentality and the frailty of such actions.
Come with me a moment. And she actively walks you away from the other guards at the front. Moving to the back, over near the fire pit, even though it is extinguished. Harrow following on closely behind you.
Where did Sog and Storm... Were they allowed to wander off?
You're just... Yes, you've been
Okay.
allowed to wander off. You're just moving around the perimeter, checking. You can see that a number of the doors that lead to outer towers seem to have been barricaded up as well. You imagine it's possibly just for a safety measure, though 3 of them are still open. They seem to have run out of stuff to barricade or have left them open for whatever reason.
Okay. We can come back to that. I'll let you guys finish the conversation first.
How familiar are you with my empire?
Sam twitches a tiny bit at that.
I have only recently had the unique experience of traveling through the Demu Empire.
My father, my uncle, and myself hope to change things.
Change
Believe
can be
the
good.
Old ways are... They do not belong in this new world that is coming about.
If you don't mind me asking, is that the reason why you travel with an elf?
You over there, then, Noddy?
Oh wait, am I?
Sneak over.
Did I not sneak? Did I sneak over? Yeah, I would have probably wandered over
Yeah.
afterwards.
Kovacs senses it elsewhere, so I'm just gonna go.
You actually, with your passive insight, you actually notice she blushes slightly. But quickly dismisses it and just goes, "Oh, I do not believe in slavery, or at least hired help, at least. Everyone is their own right and their own being. If someone is to do a job for you, you pay for it, in one way or another. Besides, our king is, and you can see like utter disgust on her face, is a usurper himself. He is not the rightful owner of this crown.
Ooh. Makes me want to overthrow
And
the
yet,
king.
and yet you bring your forces to the borders of your lands.
This outskirts city is unmonitored. A safe place for us to build up a resistance.
Or a safe place to launch an attack to get a foothold into the neighboring lands.
At this, she looks weary. Sighs. She just... My father expected this was the reason you had arrived. When he got wind that the Xel'nari were sending emissaries, he figured this would be the case. He is, well, was much better at explaining this than I. But leadership now falls upon myself. No, I have no intentions of an invasion. Well, not at least of another neighboring empire. Perhaps to form a treaty and an alliance, but no, my army is set to move more inland, or, well, what's left of us. It looks like we are thwarted before we even start.
This is the second weirdest thing that's happened to us in recent.
Is it possible that others within your empire may have knew what you were planning?
Very possible. There are spies everywhere in this place.
This form of attack, if it was summoned by enemies, would be a way of taking care of a problem without putting blood on one's hands, would it not?
Thought had crossed my mind, though I cannot think of anyone in the Empire with abilities such as this.
Where's Kovac right now, by the way?
Taking a piss. No,
Oh,
she's,
no. I meant like.
I know. She's over with the other two, inspecting the wound still.
Okay.
Well, actually, wasn't she sitting on the carpets, tranced out because she's looking through Wisteria's eyes?
Correct, yes.
Yep.
What's the lie doing?
The lie is trying not to start a conflict.
Just keeping an eye out.
We didn't keep any of the Demu bounty hunters' weapons or armor in the end, did we?
I don't believe so, no.
That's good.
I think we buried it all.
If you are truly seeking peace, then you will have common ground with the Xel'nari, I am sure. I cannot speak for them, but I know what they seek.
They seek peace on all fronts. They don't want a war. I intend for a war. The only way I will take this throne.
Do you think that war is the only path?
Definitely. He will not give it up willingly.
It's fine, you're in a trance, don't worry about it.
You're not there, man. You're not there.
I'm scouting. What?
Were they talking
Sure.
about the throne being taken by Ku and that?
Well, the lie's not
Is
there.
it- No, I am.
Are
I'm
you?
just keeping an eye on things. Yeah.
Okay, because they moved away from everyone else.
No, they moved away from the other soldiers specifically, the other Demu soldiers.
Yeah, so yes, the lie would have had to have followed. Okay, no.
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
in my head for narrative's sake. I'm just trying to follow along. That's all.
Yep. No,
Yep.
all good. All good. When she did mention that the throne was taken in a coup, could I attempt to roll a history to see if the Xel'nari knows anything about it?
I need to be back in a
Anything about
second.
it? That is history. That's a 16.
So, yes. Not by Lord Godfrey, who is the current ruler, but by his ancestors. They basically, the Demo Empire has the system of right to rule. That if you are the strongest, you deserve the right to rule, and their ancestors took the throne by force, and have since crushed anyone who even slightly looked like they would pose a threat to that throne. So whilst the right to combat for the throne is still there, none have been willing to attempt it, as they have disappeared in the past when ever speaking out against them.
You say that war is the only option. But war has been tried before and brought around misery, death, and destruction. Is that how you would reform your empire? By destroying it?
It was my father's method. Honestly, I have no idea how I'm going to go about this anymore. Whilst I shared most of my father's ideals, he did not share all of mine. He believed in a change of leadership. I believe in a change of, well, structure, laws, freedom, rights.
A change of heart, one would think.
Ah, that's a good way to describe it. That is why I put us aside. Whilst my father's men would follow him to their deaths, they do not share the same ideals that I do.
I think you face a greater threat than these beasts out here. If you were to change the heart of an empire, you need to become an example burning so brightly that none can ignore. You need to be a beacon for others who would wish to follow, to join. Not posing a threat of war, not beating the drums of violence and destruction, but the heart of the people. This I cannot see being done in your lifetime. But I am but a simple half-orc, so perhaps I do not know.
No, your words carry wisdom in them. It is probably not likely something that even my children will see, but speaking out in such a manner is also a good way to lose your head in this place.
What is it
That
the
is why my
demo...
father believed that conflict was the only way. Take the throne, then you have power. No one can question. Then you can change the ideals how you see fit.
Put a sword in a boy's hand and tell them that they need to kill to become a man, and they will always see an answer ending in blood. I have seen it with my father, you have seen it with yours. Soldiers fight and follow orders on the basis of others. If you are to get respect, you will need to show strength. Strength and power. The way you choose to do that will determine how you change the minds and hearts of those around you. If you stand strong in the face of opposition and choose not to engage in that which you think is beneath you and have dedication to that strength, you will either be killed or grow powerful.
I wish it was so simple. Things do not work that way here. Unless you're in a position of power, your words carry no weight, and many of the people blindly follow. It is the way that the laws have been enforced.
Will people follow you?
You here do. But I've grown up with many of them.
First 10, then 100, then as many as needed.
As you
Show
said, this
them.
may already be a way to quell us. They may already be onto us.
If they wish to do so obviously, you probably would have never woken up one morning.
Perhaps. I am no diplomat. I'm no public speaker. I'm barely a fighter.
Leaders have been made from less. to lead is not... It is not to have the training, it is not to have charisma, it is not to have any of those things. To lead people is to have their faith in you. Have their trust in you. If they will stand behind you because they believe in you, you will lead them. For good or ill, the challenge of a leader is to make the right call, no matter the consequences. If the right call is to do something which is dangerous, then you steadfastly go towards it. You do not shirk that duty. Leadership is about direction towards your goal, and that alone. Do not confuse it with politics. Politics is a snake moving towards the sunny rock for its own selfish benefit. It is not leadership. People follow politicians out of fear or greed. They do not have faith. They do not care about them. Leadership is more than that. And I hope you learn that lesson.
All the while you're talking, she's staring off into the empty fire pit, as if it was currently ablaze and she was watching the fires itself flicker back and forth.
Sam also kind of chimes in this again. Just remember, sucking at something is the first step to becoming sort of good at something.
She seems almost a little bit lost in the words for a moment. After a while, she mumbles, kind of half-heartedly to you. You've given me things to think about. But first, we must get out of this hellscape.
Indeed.
Speaking of which,
Yes. You're flipping and flapping about. Outside, Wisteria is finding it extremely hard to see anything. The snow has really hit hard. The storm is coming in thick and heavy. Visibility is next to nothing outside.
dearie me.
Even flying down low, she's barely able to see the buildings amongst the snowstorm. She does not see any signs of the creatures, and when she approaches the carts and horses, she only finds the carts and the tattered remains of reins and saddles and bridles upon the carts. However, there is no sign of blood staining the snow. There's just simply no animals there.
No animals.
Okay. At that, Kovek will... I mean, since she gave Wisteria instructions to come back if there was a storm, given that there's currently a storm, by that logic, she should return immediately. So, I see her cycle back and begin to make her way back towards the keep.
Take it away, downtown.
Thank you. I'm very grateful. I will drop out of my trance and say, our horses are dead. The carts remain. Oh, you've moved over there. And I'm just going to walk to where the conversation has gone and say, our 2 horses have been killed. No blood, but they are gone. The storm is still heavily upon us, though I see no sign of the creatures.
And Kovek will get a little telepathic message saying, we've been having a discussion about the forces here, and she and her father apparently desire peace. This is a good thing.
I will glance over at Mug and just give him a quick nod in response to that and say, what was your plan in terms of survival? Is it to hold fast or escape? Because our horses being absent does pose a bit of a problem.
Our plan is wait till the morning and run.
See. For best visibility. Is this the most secure location you have to hold out, or are there higher floors in the keep that offer greater protection?
There are higher floors, but many windows up there, and well, creatures have shown themselves to be quite smart. We believe that's how they got into some of the houses.
No,
So
they
we
do
have
seem.
barricaded off most of the rooms, but
They do seem that
kept
they
it as an
host a
option
lot of
for return.
intelligence.
I kind of glance around and say, Thalai, you have quite the savvy tactical mind. What's your takeaway from this predicament we're in?
Well, they don't have to rush. They can wait us out indefinitely. But if they are ravenous, continuously hungry, wanting to feast, then yeah, barricading the windows does seem to be a good idea, especially seeing that they can climb.
And Ash, what time was it when we arrived? Was it like an afternoon, evening?
It was afternoon, you think. It was hard for you to tell from the position of the sun. Sorry, hard for you to tell the position of the sun through the storm that was coming over.
Okay.
But judging by your timing, you believe it to have been afternoon.
And Asami, based on your desire to have your associate taken to safety, how long, based on your experience, would you imagine it would take for your associate to fall victim to her affliction?
We have no way of gauging it. I mean, going by how it's progressed, potentially days at best.
Yeah. We aren't even like close to days travel from any other civilized place, are we? It's just all mountains down for a while, right?
The closest civilized place is basically the gates at the border where you came through. And that's not really a town at all. It's a small gate outpost. There is a town further north of that, but it's another 2 days travel.
Yeah, there's no way she's surviving this.
I could get a message. I could potentially get a message through to the captain of the guard at that border fort, and ask him to request a cleric be sent to that town, so that they will arrive hopefully shortly after we do.
Seems prudent. Have you got a guard captain's face in mind?
The one who I paid to take his room because I was fed up with sleeping in the wagon.
That was the border into Namaran territory, not the...
Yes. That's the one we're talking about. That's the quickest one to get to.
Is it? Oh, I'm
Yep.
misrecalling the map.
That was the last point of call on our thing. Otherwise, it's further into the mountains to get back to Demu territory.
Okay.
So we'd go essentially reverse on our route. Down the mountain, around the corner to the thing.
It would be on foot a week's travel. So if you were able to organize it, you could potentially get them to meet you halfway,
Yeah.
which would cut the time in half.
but it'd be cutting it pretty fine and close.
Just as a random point of curiosity, you wouldn't happen to have any potentially useful arcane supplies on site here, would you?
No, as I said, we've got no magicians or sorcerers here amongst us.
Did you before the attack?
We had clerics, no mages.
No, you can't steal a dead person's spellbook.
I want to try!
I knew exactly what you were thinking. I think we all did.
Classic Kovac.
More magic. Is there anything we ought to do in anticipation of a challenging night?
Rest.
My suggestion would be rest. There's nothing we can do during the night. It can just get worse out there.
Has the keep been breached before?
Not yet. Not without attempts, but not yet. Having said that, we were able to put a little bit of holy water into the water and spill it over whenever they did approach. We've run out now. Hopefully just the threat of it is enough to keep him at bay. It seems to work.
We also have a potential secret weapon. I
believe I may know what you are implying. There may also potentially be a way to obtain additional resources.
If we are far enough down the mountain, we should be safe. And it could stop pursuit of us. Perhaps.
Tell me, are there any sheer cliff faces that lead directly down the mountain?
You already know that. You climbed up the switchback path that led you up this side of the mountain was very sheer.
Okay. And how far down of a drop would there be from like the path just next to the gate down to the next flat surface beneath that drop?
Next flat surface, about 100 to 200 feet, nearly.
Yeah, okay.
So when you're done with that, I've got a little something I like to do.
Yep. Also,
Oh,
stop.
good. I'm done. Carry on.
Oh no, sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm just pondering spell options.
That's what I was going. One of the things I was going to do is come over to you, and we're going to probably look at our choices that we both have. But I've gone back to the elf. One thing I'm trying to determine, first of all, 'cause one thing that might help the spells I take. I was trying to work out if what she has been inflicted with is a poison or a disease. Because I know that my lesser restoration didn't work. But I mean, it still could be a poison or disease. Because in my brain, it's like if I can determine that, I can detect poison and disease, which at least helps us work out potentially what it is and how to do a counteract, or at least where it's coming from, sort of thing. Like if it's just the bite, or if it's also like the prongs.
I get you to make
and
me
things.
a medicine check with advantage.
Okay, cool. You get what I'm trying to get at.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So first roll, okay. Second roll, okay. Medicine. So that was 16 for medicine.
Whilst it shows a lot of the trademarks of an infection, it doesn't seem like that is actually the cause of it. It seems like it's trying to imitate the effects of an infection. Judging by how it's reacting, you believe it probably is a curse.
Okay, cool. So detect poison and disease will do nothing, which is good. I might still take it just in case, because my
I'm
brain.
sitting here the whole time like it's a curse. It's a curse. She's been cursed.
Well, yeah, I know.
This is clearly a
But
curse. But Storm
just
hasn't been
double
present for any of this conversation, so I can't say anything.
Yeah, it's just double checking, because that means I probably won't be taking certain spells.
We've been dealing with shifty gnomes and curses for how long now? It's clearly a curse. It's probably also the fucking gnome. Anyway, moving on. I'm good. I'm done.
It's always gonna be the gnome. But no, okay, cool. Yeah, literally, I'll walk over to Kovac and be like, yeah, there's literally nothing I can do and have available that will delay, deter what's going on with that person. I mean, it's a curse. It's a curse, by the way. We know it's a curse. Do you know it's a curse? We know it's a curse. Yeah, it's a curse.
I may have something. We received those ampules of curse-resistant drafts. I've got 3 of them on my person still. If the
Wait,
curse,
where did we get those?
it was that unusual traveling herbalist we encountered.
Oh wow, that was a while ago.
Yeah,
We-
that's when Storm licked the plant and got paralyzed.
I'll give you one and say it could be worth a try to at least temporarily abate the symptoms.
I
Perhaps-
heard some.
Yes.
Continue.
But it was just going to be more words that aren't essential. Go on.
Did I hear mention that there was some holy water?
They're all out.
They've used the
Oh.
last of it.
Use the last of it to save us.
Correct.
Nah, it's gonna be frozen now. I can't shape water that. I'm trying to do the thing I did way back with the original shade, okay?
I mean, if you came and found Storm, she could melt it.
Probably the effect of it being what it was probably would be gone. That's fine.
Yeah, so-
Do we know if they are afflicted by, or don't seem to quite like fire or
They don't know.
other things? I don't know.
They haven't had a chance to test it.
Actually, I was going to go over to Thalai. And Thalai, creatures up in the mountains in the cold.
Yeah.
Is fire generally a thing that they're... Obviously, they're not going to take much damage from cold, because they're born into that environment.
Oh, my cantrips.
Is fire commonly a good thing to do, or is it only for some creatures? Is it likely?
What would I know from my own personal experience?
Typically, fire is a good deterrent. They are used to the cold, and fire is, apart from being bright and hot, it burns, and it burns well.
So there's merit to using fire. I mean, if they're used to cold, then fire did not be pleasant to them. Especially the discomfort of the heat, as well as any bright lights at night. But I think there was mentioned that they was worried that these things might be fiends of some kind. Perhaps.
Fiends.
If that's the case, that they're fiends and they're affected by holy water, I don't know how well fire will work.
It did look like they had some glow from inside.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. It's a weird glow. Did they ever shoot something out of that? No, we just had the tail,
Spines from the tail.
back
Tail.
spines, and
Yeah.
it sounds really dumb, but I could potentially try something. It's not gonna be real dumb.
What do you
okay.
have in mind?
Thought, okay. We know that the elf... the elf has a name. What is their name? I do apologize. I do not wish to keep referring to them as that. I say that...
You should be able to see their nameplates. It's Akari.
I can't see
Akari,
it. Yes.
it was just because I don't think if I ever, like,
They're
Sam ever
behind
learned the
Bochan.
name. Yeah, I see it. Akari.
Okay.
Yes, Sam will walk over and be like, so it's small and it might not do much. I can produce a very small flame. I can try and put it near-ish where the fur is sprouting from and seeing if they might respond. It's a thought, like for example, if heat, fire deters them in any way, it might have an adverse effect. Is the theory. It might do nothing.
Just worth a try.
Oh, I'm gonna try that. I mean, it's not really much. Like, it produces flame. It's small. It can be effective, but let's do a control. Let's go do this controlled. Sam's trying to do this with respect. Like, I don't want to cause an argument with people.
Or an international incident.
Or an international incident, especially when I want to talk to them already about an international incident with my family and them. So it's all leading up, so like gain their trust, do things nice, and then I'm gonna hit in about this later.
Kovac pulls out her notebook, conjures a quill, and just puts it on the paper, and it remains erect and poised to write as you go to do this.
Do the whole control flame, so it's there. I'm holding it. Instead of like flying it around like wee, it's like okay, doing like hooded lantern sort of situation of like it's contained, and then I try to present it near. I go towards Akari. Hopefully, Botan heard that this is being authorized and it's controlled. I'm not just suddenly walking towards with fire.
You approach and put the flame near the wound. She seems to not respond at all. She's completely off in another world.
That's fine. Is just an observance, the fur, is it doing a weird twitch? And sometimes you get goosebumps, or like your skin kind of like does a wiggle or something. So I'm not looking at necessarily at her facial expressions, but I'm also looking at the actual.
Not anything out of the ordinary.
Cool. I'll be like, okay, yeah, no, nothing.
Mug, I thought.
You often do.
Indeed. Would you be willing to probe her subconscious? See what she's seeing at the moment? It could be insightful.
It would be somewhat rude.
I fail to see how that's relevant.
This is still a delicate situation. Probing someone's mind without their permission when they have caused no threat or harm.
Who?
Do you think this would provide any useful information apart from she got bit, it hurt?
I mean, like, I'll approach and just like start snapping in front of Akari's face. Is there any response at all?
Roll me a perception.
Oh, okay. No. That's a 7.
No,
Okay.
no response.
How long ago was it that she was bitten?
Last night.
Okay, thank you.
Asami, as her guardian, I suppose, in this context, would you be able to give permission in her stead for us to investigate her mental well-being?
He looks over at her for a while. Can you roll me a persuasion?
Me?
Yes.
Flat roll.
Asked specifically.
17.
Yeah. She stares for a good long while, considering it, before lowering her head and going, I guess it could lend some help. Maybe she knows what's going on.
It is still up to you, Mug, but I believe it could be worth a try.
I'll give it a go.
Even if it's what she's currently experiencing, which could give us some hints.
Asami moves over to her, and you notice that Botan actually stands between Asami and the other guards, kind of blocking their line of sight. And she just reaches down and gently places Akari's hand in her own, and it's a very tender gentleness, not that of a friend, but potentially
Insight check. Insight check.
Same.
They are fucking.
Insight
they are-
check for romance!
So what? You just relabeled that gaydar check.
I ship it so hard.
No, I don't think
It's
I
adorable.
think I got it.
I mean, I got 21 insight.
I
We
got
have
11.
to save them.
We have
They're
to
too
save the
cute.
baby.
They're so
definitely-
cute.
She definitely cares for her more than that of a supposed handmaid.
Got it.
Why you gotta hit Kovac in one of her few feelings?
Yeah, the few feelings she's recently discovered she quite enjoys.
She's only got 4 of them. They're easy to lose.
No.
So I'll reassure that this will not harm Asami at all. Is it Asami? Asari?
Akari.
Akari.
Akari. Sorry.
Asami is the leader.
Yeah. Akari.
You're going to be going in and doing some possible determining factors. I will pat you. Your shoulders. Well, wherever I touch you, your knee.
It's a long way up for the shoulder.
Your knee will kind of glow with some motes, and this might be intelligence, so I'll cast Fox's Cunning enhance ability for you to. I believe that's probably the one to determine what you're seeing and deduct. I'm assuming it'll be intelligence. This might not work at all, but
If I have to make some sort of investigation thing to put 2 and 2 together.
could I do that, Ash?
Yeah, you can. I mean, you can definitely try.
Yeah, I'll try. Maybe I might need to cast it on myself first for it to work. So just a off the bat intelligence check. It's 14. No, that's my saving throw. 11.
I'm confused. Did you cast it on yourself or on Mug?
No, I was doing the roll to determine if I could guess what it would be.
Oh,
Hold
okay.
on.
Yep.
We're complicating things now.
Make Mug smart. SMRT.
It's MORT. Yeah, I rolled an 11 intelligence check to do a determining.
It really depends on what information you're trying to get and how you're trying to go about it. As you're just, I assume, going to just start off with detecting the surface level thoughts, you don't really need to check for that unless you're trying to gain insight into
I figure
what
there's
you hear.
not many surface thoughts, considering she wasn't conscious, was she?
It seems to be conscious, but just not
Unresponsive.
not
aware of her
responsive.
surroundings.
Okay.
Oh, like I said, maybe looking at my abilities, it might be better to do wisdom because that's insight, but investigation is intelligence. You know what? Alright, no, you know what? Pat, Mug, if you need a thing of like delving deeper and stuff, let me know what you might need, and I can give you a bolster. That's me being smart.
Proud of you.
Yes, so I will use my telepathic detect thoughts ability and see what her surface thoughts are at the moment.
At the surface level, there is nothing. It is just a void.
Would I have done this before on people who were unconscious or...
Yeah. It's a
And
similar effect.
Okay.
It is if she is catatonic. Her eyes are open and she is breathing and seems to be awake, but it is if she is asleep without dreams.
DC 15 wisdom check as I plunge
She automatically
deeper into the
fails.
mind. Okay.
She can't resist.
Okay.
As,
So-
as you start probing deeper, and it actually takes a lot of your effort to get deep enough to hear anything. And you're just hearing, go, get out before, rip, tear, kill. No, get out now. No, kill, murder, become one. And it
Can I-
continues on similar to this.
So there's a separate thought in
It
her brain, is
seems
that right?
to be her own, but different.
Like a
Okay.
Jekyll Hyde sort of situation, but it's the
Yeah.
same person.
And the more you listen to it, the more it seems to be getting slowly over time, as it seems to be repetitive, but it seems to be almost arguing with itself as it goes.
I will try to use telepathy to speak to Akari. And see if she like responds in her thoughts. So, Akari, we are here. We haven't abandoned you. Asami is here. She will look after you. Does that change the pattern of her thoughts and reactions?
Yeah, it goes from the constant repetitive to no. Run now. Go. And it seems there's a longer period of her being herself as she tries to fight back whatever it is.
We are going to get help. Stay strong. Stay proud. Stay safe. Don't let anything else overcome you.
You're an independent, strong elf who don't need
Need
no.
So yeah, try and do sort of reinforcing, reaffirming sort of things to get her to, try and hold out and resist. While it's not technically true, I'll count that as one of the bardic inspirations because it feels thematically appropriate. And try and get her to also remember the attack and how it progressed from the attack, like when she first noticed things had gone wrong.
You no matter what you try and say, she just seems to have fallen back into a repetitive state of arguing with herself.
Let the spell go at the end of the duration. Sort of come back, shake off the weird sensation, and go. She's slowly changing. I've tried to encourage her to resist for as long as she can. We should leave at first light.
Fair enough. For now, get your rest.
Asami, you seem as tired as anyone here. If I may be so blunt. If you are willing, I can help you get some rest.
Any help would be much appreciated. It's been some time since I've been able to sleep.
You and a couple of your soldiers who are tired. I assume Maharu might want to watch over you to make sure that you are safe.
Of course he will.
So I get up to 3 people, get them to sort of sit down comfortably on the rugs there, and I start to sing them a little lullaby. Get the lute out and just strumming some chords, singing them to go to sleep.
Shut up. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt the moment.
Just launch off your head.
The headset is slightly big for my head, okay? I am small.
Good
So-
small.
And I cast Catnap.
Ah,
Me!
nice.
Oh, wait.
So they sleep for 10 minutes and get a full short rest.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So while
Alright.
that's not the same as a long rest, it at
It'll
least
still
helps.
help
Yeah.
a little bit.
If you're a
Um,
warlock, you're winning.
Yeah. Also, fighters get a fair bit of bonus out of that as well.
And
Yeah,
monks.
with the help of the catnap, Asami is finally able to actually get some sleep, and you can see that exhaustion was definitely setting in on her.
Yeah.
She was probably running entirely off adrenaline. Botan accepts and goes to sleep as well as one of the other guards, but Haru refuses.
Her is the guard, her personal guard, isn't it?
At some stage, I'll try and once people have done their like immediate things, get like all of us Xel'nari and Xel'nari adjacent people into a bit of a discussion huddle.
Has Wisteria made it back?
Yes, yes.
Excellent.
Storm is potentially still out with Thog doing things. I didn't get to actually say what we were doing.
Yeah, so you were inspecting the rest of the building. Oh, at least Thog had been told to inspect the building and its perimeter and see how secure it was.
And Storm would have led him astray.
I figured that was the case. So, what is Storm doing to lead him astray?
Once they're out of sight of everyone, she's gonna like find a corner where no one is, like over here somewhere where there's boxes or crates or whatever, and she's gonna find a box that's empty that she can full.
Alright. Well, the only way you'd be able to get out of sight of everyone is actually going through one of the unbarricaded doors.
Well, I thought everyone like is up here.
Yep, and down over here, where they would still be able to have line of sight of you.
Yes, but once they head back inside towards helping Atari and Akari.
Well, that's not inside. That is just a lowered area.
Oh,
That
that's a
dark
lowered
area.
area. There isn't like a sneaky corner like over here or something.
I mean, you could potentially do it, but there is the potential that someone could look over at the wrong time and see something.
That's fine, that's fine. She's gonna like nonchalantly find a corner off to the side somewhere that's a little bit more secluded.
Alright.
And she's gonna grab a few like planks or box or something and make like a little circle on the ground.
Mhm.
Or a square or a little spot where she can sit in. And she's gonna say, Thog, make sure nobody pays attention to us, okay? Just stay there and tap me on the shoulder if anyone is looking in this direction, okay?
Right, okay.
Just stand there and look like nothing is happening, yeah?
Yeah, I can do that. He stands there looking very much like something is happening.
Perfect. And she's gonna go
It's
sit.
like doing the whole...
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
She's gonna walk in circles around her little thing that she's made before stepping inside it and sitting down and closing her eyes and what would appear on the outside like meditating.
Okay.
And she's praying to the storm god of her people.
Okay. Interesting. Roll me a
Religion.
D20, please.
Oh. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, it's
Do
a
you
4. Never
manage-
mind.
You managed to offend the storm god.
It's a 4. Never mind.
Alright. What are you praying for? How are you trying to commune?
Not out loud, but in her head. It's a bumbling amount of rambling. Actually, she's probably like muttering it very quietly under her breath, but
Mhm.
not in common. It would be absolutely in cat,
Mhm.
or in this, cat-like language. I think we agreed it was Leonin, but
Mhm.
yeah. And it's along the lines of, okay, so I know you've never talked to me before, but that's okay. That doesn't mean that you're not there. I know you're there because you're always looked after our home. And I'm sure there's a reason why you have sent me away and not allowed me to go home. You know, like maybe it's here. Maybe there is a purpose. But you are the god of this storm, and the storm is big, and the storm at home was always kind to protect us and kept us safe. But this storm is not good and is not protecting these people. It is in fact bad. Maybe there is guidance here for me to pass on to these people to help them. Is there a way I can help them? I don't know. But I thought maybe it would not be so harm to maybe see if you would hear my words this time. And it's muttering and mumbling along that like that.
You don't hear anything as you ramble back and forth. You don't hear a voice inside your head speaking to you. You don't see visions or anything like that. But after a while, you do feel a slight warmth that seems to abate the cold. It seems unnatural, and you feel that is some kind of sign. But other than that, there is nothing else.
She'll probably sit there mumbling at herself for about maybe 10 minutes even. Like she's pretty determined. Before she just sits there for a moment in silence. Okay, I get it. I'm on my own. All right. And then she stands up and says, all right, dog, let's go. And then proceeds to lead him back around. And actually, I'm going to say she's going to also investigate and look at what's inside one of these doorways because it doesn't have a barricade.
Opening up the one on the left there?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Inside you find a tower, well, one of the towers leading up. There's a staircase leading up to the next floor, and it also goes up again to a third floor up from there. There is a strong cold draft coming down the staircase.
She pokes her head in, looks around. Nothing of interest?
Nothing in particular interest, no.
Ew. Closes the door. It's so cold in there.
Yeah, it's a lot colder than here, and even here's bloody freezing.
Oh, are you cold?
Yeah, I ain't used to this cold stuff.
Okay.
Prefer warmer climates.
Stand really still for like 2 seconds. Just stay in same spot.
I'm good at that.
Put your hands out like this.
Okay.
And she puts her hands on top of his hands and just warms his hands.
Aww.
Oh, that's really cool. No, it's really warm. It's cool. It's cold and it's warm. Yeah. How do you do that?
I don't know. I have always been able to do it. If your hands are ever cold, I will always be happy to warm them up.
Very useful.
Yeah.
Do it more.
Okay. And she just warms his hands.
Thog, over here, the guy who refused to buy a winter coat because it would cut into his drinking money is now complaining about being cold.
No one has ever accused Thog of making good life choices.
Correct.
And no one ever will. Alright.
Is this space enclosed or is it
Which space, sorry?
this like room that we're in? This whole space in here.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
There
it's
are
enclosed.
some shuttered windows up high, like near the ceiling. But they more seem to be for allowing light to come in rather than being able to look out.
Okay, what level of monk am I, and can I climb walls yet? No, I don't think I can.
You can technically count. Oh wait, no. Yep. I
Nope.
remember things.
I can
Yep.
levitate. I can't climb. I don't have a climbing speed. I am a broken cat.
Is anyone
Yeah.
taking watch as I assume you're starting to go to sleep? Get ready.
I'll
to go
take the
to bed.
first watch.
Unless
Oh.
there is anything else pressing that anyone wanted to do.
Jeez, so much I'm tempted to try, but it's all too risky to really want to do it.
Unless someone comes to get Storm. Storm is climbing up that wall with Thog's help to look out one of the shutters.
It's probably too high.
How high up is it?
About 30 feet.
She could try. Look, you
It's
left
like,
the
you
cat
can
and Thog
certainly
alone
try.
on an adventure.
You can certainly try.
Please, allow me. I'm gonna change dice because that one failed me twice already. What am I
This will
rolling?
be with athletics.
Oh, never mind. That one also failed me. Athletics is 4.
You stand on Thog's face a few times trying to get up, but you are not successful. The walls are pretty flat and without much surface to grab hold of.
At some point, she casts levitate on herself and pretends to climb the wall. As she's done many times in the past.
Yep.
She's well
Alright,
practiced at this deception.
You float climb yourself up the wall to look out. What are you looking for?
I presume the storm's still billowing.
The storm is raging outside, and the darkness has started to settle in as well.
Is there any signs of the creatures that she can see? I know.
You
well,
can't see anything out there.
Well, I have blind sight
Up to 30 feet.
up to 30 feet, so I can see if there is something in there, but only up to a 30 foot radius.
Not
Isn't the-
quite how that works. It's you can see vibrations and noises and stuff like that,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
like a tremor sense kind of thing.
Yeah, so if something's disturbing the natural essence of the
Yeah,
space.
you're just seeing storm.
Okay. 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 It's cold. Her whiskers are frozen. She's gonna come.
So, is there anything anyone wishes to do? Otherwise, we will go to the nighttime.
Other than talking to Kovac about kind of the spells we think that might be useful, but they might just be the standard array of what we've already been using.
I am
Um,
pondering whether or not fiery arcs of targeted arcane damage will be more or less effective than a exhaled breath weapon. If you recall my prior skills, I'm tempted to favor the breath weapon as it will
Ooh, if
last
we
longer.
want radiant,
How close do you need to be?
is that radiant?
You exhale it and it creates a 15-foot cone, and can do it as your action for a minute.
Okay.
It's really good if you can put it on a familiar, but these creatures can shoot spines at range, and so I would be fearful about putting it on Materia because they would just shoot her down.
Yeah. I just realized I actually do have a spell that can do radiant damage.
Okay, so
Moon.
Kovac will curl up to sleep, studying her cantrip formula, thinking of which is the best damaging cantrip to switch out, because she can't use Ray of Frost in this climate against these creatures.
Eventually Storm will join everyone else with Thog, and when it's time to sleep, she always does the last shift, I think, or the second last watch. When someone wakes her up, she'll wake up, but in the meantime, she will cuddle up to Thog, covering them both with her cloak and try and keep him warm with her little warmy hands.
Yeah. I could. Fog cloud might be useful, actually. Yes.
A lie.
Fog cloud.
Yeah.
You're the only one of us with any significant armor.
Yes.
I mean, my armor
Is
class
there a
is
way
80.
that we can make you safer? Because you might take the brunt of a bunch of things with the other guards.
As in, if the guards become violent, they're most
No,
likely-
no, no. If we make a charge down the mountain
Yeah.
and we're being pursued by wintry hellhounds,
Yeah.
then you might have to be in front lines.
Is now
We-
is now a good time to be double big?
What is the... So when we were running away from the wolves or the creatures previously, what did their running speed feel like compared to Storm?
Fast.
Like, were they as fast as her or faster?
They were keeping up with her.
Okay.
Ah. Another spell I don't think I've used.
Well,
So, one of the things, if there is a battle, I can inspire Heroism. Which, apart from giving you immune to being frightened, adds or gives you 4 temporary hit points every round.
That's a good buffer.
It doesn't
Mhm.
stack with itself, but it means that every round the first 4 points of damage will be off your temporary hit points.
yeah.
Very, very overlooked spell.
Yeah, well, that will add up. So, would you want to be double big?
What's going to help you survive? If there's anything that we can do,
Well, they do have poisonous attacks. My constitution, I would say, is pretty strong. My ability to resist poison, but that might be something to keep an eye on. Whether just
That's
being
the-
able to cure me being poisoned or
It's not a poison.
poison.
It's not a poison.
It's
a-
not?
Yeah,
No.
no, not the bite. Just what's in their quills.
Oh!
The spines. Oh, yes, you did a taste test of it, didn't you? Upon our
I
approach.
did. It was very numbing.
And it was poison as opposed to like.
It was,
And
It definitely showed the signs of a poison.
okay, I can't do
So
much
they're-
about that.
okay, so are we looking at the quills being poison, the bites being cursed?
Some kind of cursed disease type thing.
Otherwise, looking around at like the boxes and the tables and that are here. How thick is the wood?
Boxes and tables. The boxes not very it's standard boxes and crates. The wood for the table though is quite thick. Could definitely double as a door. In fact, thicker than many doors. It's like solid slabs of wood.
I just want to walk over to this one here
Mhm.
and just lift it up. See how heavy it is.
Quite heavy.
Quite heavy.
It is literally like someone has sliced a plane of wood in half.
Yeah.
Of a tree, rather than putting planks together.
Do you want a very bad mug plan?
Do you want a Trojan horse?
No.
I think I know where Mug's going with this.
Make a sled.
Yep.
Let's
We
go
get
down
some
the
of
mountain.
the spare swords that'll be lying around, make a kick-ass toboggan, battle platform, and we push off as best we're able and just keep going.
I mean, yeah.
Remember when I said it's sheer cliff face?
Or,
Yes, that's fine.
Or,
Featherfall!
That's honestly fine. I've got Featherfall.
or about how many creatures can you catch with Featherfall?
I can catch 5 at a time.
Well, if it gets us out of the city limits and
Yes.
back to the road, that's
Like-
But I
Part
remember
of the
the road does. Yeah. Like,
yeah. But what I'm saying is, from the front gates of this
Down.
castle, through the village, through the town gates, out to the road, to the switchback.
Then we get all the other soldiers to jump first. As they jump 5 at a time, I Featherfall them, and then we're the last ones down.
I wasn't even thinking that far. I was just thinking an immediate, quick.
Is Featherfall concentration?
No, it lasts for a minute. I can target 5 fallen creatures as a reaction. So as soon as they jump, I can cast it on them, and then they have a minute of safe falling down to the next road, and can then run from there, and get a really big head start, including us.
Or one thing I was thinking, well, could be potentially an option. Looking at there's multiple of these tables. Send a distraction out first, so they all chase one, and then we go after a different one.
Distraction, you say? And I pull open the bag of holding and pull from within it just the head of a barrel of black powder.
This is where Storm will chime in if she's there.
But
What about my fireworks?
I like the idea, but we are in a mountain.
Yes, again.
Surrounded by snow. That has had a lot of heavy fall of snow recently.
Could we use that to our advantage as we are about to depart to thoroughly cover our tracks and prevent us from being followed? Perhaps once we are clear of the gate and about to jump, we enact some kind of very loud, very destructive plan and then jump for it.
The problem is that snow won't just stop in the town. That will flow through the valley that this town is, and spill over and down the road.
I do have
least.
I do have one other thought. Would you be willing to carry our cart down as we fall if that cart happened to be half the size?
We have 2 carts.
As in the horse carts?
Yes.
Horse carts? I mean, if you make them and everything inside them smaller.
It's a nice cart, and I can target an object with enlarged reduce, including a cart. So I'm thinking I just shrink the entire cart, you pick it up, and then we jump with it till we save one of the carts.
If I'm enlarged, yeah, that would work.
Yes!
You're gonna have to choose between the cart and the ale cart.
I already know, yeah, the cart.
The regular.
No, it's simple. Put all the ale in the wagon and then carry the wagon.
Look, if you have time to transfer all the alcohol into the other cart without putting everyone else at risk,
We won't.
Sure. But I don't think we will.
So I will definitely be preparing enlarged reduce just for that.
Yeah.
For that situation, because I like our cart.
With Rory talking about enlarge reduce, Thalai's mind will travel back to that weird apothecary that we met on the road who was talking about giving me a potion that for swelling problems. And like out of character I know what it does, but in character I don't know what it does, and I'm just like cool, Vic.
Yes?
Can you do me a favor and just identify this for me? I have had a thought. And I'm going to pass over that potion vial.
I will unstop it, give a sniff and examine, and then spend 10 minutes to cast Identify.
I'll let you reveal what it is.
It is, I believe it was of enlarge reduce, or just enlarge.
Potion of enlarge.
Oh, so it's not a targeted enlarge, it's the whole body.
It's
You drink it,
I drink
you
it,
enlarge.
and it's effectively having enlarge cast on you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good! Because it doesn't require... I'm just checking it. So it doesn't require concentration on the part of anybody.
No.
Which means you get to be full-on huge and aren't at risk of me being hit and dropping concentration.
Because with that in mind, if I am huge, if people jump in the carts, I can carry those carts under arm and run down the mountain. Perhaps if someone gives me a boost of speed of some kind.
While we're inside.
Those carts, yes.
We can't make it smaller while we're inside, otherwise you'll be targeting...
No.
Yeah.
If I am huge, those
Yeah.
carts I can carry. It won't be comfortable and you'll be shaken around. But it will be much quicker and safer as I will be the only one targeted.
And
Once
you
you're
as
inside that cart.
Indeed, and that will reduce the number of times that I have to cast Featherfall, because you as an individual would be a single target carrying us
Oh, I
with
didn't
you.
think of that,
Ash,
yeah.
That's a lot of
Can
maths.
Can we get a total head count?
I counted.
Yeah,
18
they're all
people.
there. Everyone that is present is there.
So, how many people do we think we could feasibly shove onto or in our 2 carts as we leap down?
If we
Or-
did the ale, we could fit everyone.
Does Thog have no objections? I'm surprised.
I love this plan.
Getting to the wagon will be one thing.
But
That's
what
why
will
I
we get
think
there?
we need to have a distraction of some or another.
Also, how long does the enlarge last? That'll
If
be a
it's,
determinant.
I'm assuming if it's like magical means 1 minute.
So that's 600 feet of travel.
But if it's
Actually, I believe the potion effect actually lasts for an hour,
Oh!
unless willingly ended earlier.
Willingly, yeah, but that's
You
it
never
then
told me the
done.
specifics. You just told me it was
Yeah.
a potion of enlarge. Out of character.
Hey, Muffin Pie.
But the problem is that my giant's might form only lasts for a minute.
That's okay.
Yeah.
If we are falling several hundred feet,
Yeah,
you'll be falling at a rate of.
yeah. This would be something I would drink just before grabbing the carts and then moving off to
Yes.
jump with, if we're going to go that route.
Yes. If we are falling several hundred feet, it would be prudent for the safety of all passengers for you to be slow falling the entire time. But we could probably make it down several spans of the switchback road during that minute. And if I have to cast Featherfall multiple times, I can.
The only problem is that I can't enlarge myself without this potion for more than a minute at a time. I mean, I could probably do 3 minutes of it in total. Right?
Kovac,
Yes?
how important is the wagon to you?
I
Is it
am.
worth- and I'll point over to Akari. Is it worth risking her life?
It's not the wagon I'm thinking of saving, it's more the wagon being used as a method for saving everyone. Because if everyone is in the wagon, or in the wagons, only one person will be targeted, which is me. Out of everyone here, looking around, I am probably the most heavily armored being here. Which
Can
means
we
I
fit 17 people into the wagon?
not comfortably, but
Two
yes,
wagons.
in 2 wagons.
No.
People will have to get close.
Yeah.
It will still reduce the amount of required spell load on me individually, because even if we can't fit everybody, those who are left can jump, and then I can make them Featherfall as well.
On top of that, we can have Sam can shape into a small animal to hit in someone's pocket to reduce size as well.
Hey, I only take up the smallest space anyway.
Honestly, Storm could probably grab hold on me somewhere.
I can just run.
Indeed.
Not if I am going to jump down the mountain holding a wagon.
Could we perhaps fashion some kind of crisscross rope harness to wear on your back so that people can grab onto the back of you as well while
The
falling?
only problem is if I am going to become the target for all these creatures, if all these people are on my back, then I won't be the target.
Good
all of them
point.
will be the target.
Indeed.
It's risky. There's no denying that.
It's risky, and this plan will encounter some teething issues when we go to actually fit people inside, and may realize that our capacity is limited. But if we have the plan, the time to
You know
fight
that you already know that your cart is not big enough to fit everyone.
What
Not
about
by
the
a
car
long
and
shot.
the wagon?
If you were to get rid of all of the ale off it, you could fit most people on it.
that's okay.
Well, the originally the Bard's wagon had like 3 bunk beds, a living space, a cooking space, sort of thing. So that one could possibly clown car its way through.
You could fit about 8 people squished in there.
Okay.
Would
That's
it
okay.
not make more sense? By the way, these conversations are first time Storm's actually talking in the presence of anyone other than her party. Just to put that out there.
I think it is still just us. Everyone else
Yeah.
we're
Okay.
away from everyone.
Would it not make more sense to just try and make distraction and get attention of all of the bad monsters by us and give everyone else better chance to escape with Kovek casting Featherfall?
But then we can't escape.
But we
Yeah,
have
well-
higher chance of escape.
No. They are faster than the majority of us. at
They're
the
not
very
faster
least.
than me, but they did give me
But,
good money for money.
Not you. The rest of us, Storm.
But when you're big,
They
beam-
outnumber us by a significant amount with ranged attacking of
Yeah.
a poisonous nature. While I can resist a lot of poison,
Okay,
I
but
cannot
you're
hit
forgetting something.
all of them.
You're
If I am
forgetting
standing and
something.
fighting.
The lie. How do we get
What?
to the cart? How do we get people in the cart? It
This
seems
is
like
what-
more risk than it's worth. If we try and find
Well,
other way
but-
out.
But there is no other way out. This
Are
is
you
a-
sure? Have we not
Yes,
looked?
it
Have we
is
thought? You
it's
have
in
just
all-
assumed.
Storm.
It's in Coast Valley. Surrounded by
would-
mountains, they have come down from the mountains. If we go into the mountains to try and find a way out, we are walking into their home ground. It is
Yeah,
like
we need to
walking
get
into- no,
off
It is like
mountain.
walking into the hunting grounds of a dire beast.
But we don't
You do
even
not
know
do
how
that
far the storm
unless you wish
goes.
to die. We do not know exactly. So walking off into the middle of a storm inside a hunting beast's lair is stupid.
We already
Very
did that.
stupid.
We already did that, Thalai. That's exactly where we are right now.
We are going deeper. We will go deeper into that territory.
I'm
We're
not
trying-
saying this. You are assuming that I say this. I'm not
You are
stupid.
saying to look different way other than straight out valley. You are saying to try
No.
and climb up mountain.
No.
Also,
No.
No, I say different method. Sorry, my comment is not very great, but I don't mean different direction. I mean different method, different way of execution of plan. I don't think we will make it to the carts. And we also have to empty the carts before anyone can go on them. They are not designed for people to fit, but for things. I do not think it will work. It will be high risk and lots of fiffle-faffling around where we are exposed and people are vulnerable. I think we need a more secure plan. In fact, we should be looking for an alternate route. I know we do not have a lot of time because Akari is in danger. Do any of us have magic that can take us distances or make us faster? This would be better plan to focus on getting Akari off the mountain. The rest of us can take out time. It is not safe, but we are higher. We have less risk of
So,
imminent death than
you are
Akari
talking
is.
about an alternate route. There is no alternate route. There is one path in and out.
Okay,
Down that valley, past
okay.
the carts. The carts, while yes, are full of things, are also an additional layer of protection from those.
If
poisons.
if we can get everybody in there, I don't believe we will be able to do this safely. People are still going to
We
die.
never said it was going to be safe, and unfortunately, people will die.
I do not
Hey,
like
what
this
option is-
sacrifice.
No,
I do
but
not
the
like
option
that we are
is-
choosing to put people's lives at risk.
And the option is we stay here and starve,
Or
they
we
come
can
here and
fight.
storm.
I think that is less of an important
you
matter
seen-
right now than to make
have
sure
you
Akari is
seen
saved.
What they did when they tried to fight, they died.
Okay, maybe these people are not good for fighting because they do not have the means. But we do.
There were 300 of them. There's 18 left.
There
No,
are
13 left.
There are 5 of us. Sorry, 6. Sorry, Thug. I don't know why I forgot you for a split second. I apologize. Maybe because I'm really looking at 5 pictures. So, you, Storm, you think 6 of us will succeed where 300 people failed?
I don't.
300. I want you to think for a moment.
All I'm
I know you are
saying,
a creature of impulse, but now I need you to think right now.
all I am saying
300
is,
people died fighting.
the lie. I am not stupid. And she storms off. And she disappears.
we still do need a plan of some sort. And there comes a time when any plan is better than no plan.
Start plan? Is invisibility in your repertoire, Mug?
I always wanted to, but I never learned how to make myself invisible.
That's a shame.
The things I could do with it.
Sam, how do you feel about being bait?
No.
But very small bait that wouldn't actually be.
Okay. Wait. Cover. Sam, how do you feel about being a central heroic part of a battle plan?
Ha! Much better worded. No.
No.
One potential.
What's the idea?
I have this deck of illusions. Whoever pulls from them and places down the deck, and places down a card from the deck, will be responsible for and be able to control the nature of the illusion called forth by it. Unfortunately, you must remain within 30 feet of the card you place to maintain the illusion. So, if we...
Can't you cast through Wisteria?
It's not that. It's a magical effect, not a spell that I'm casting. So, if we built a sled...
Right. Does Wisteria have talons?
Yes, she does.
Can she not grab a card?
I
have not
the technology.
I'm just
The,
bringing it
That could
up,
work.
you know.
the thing to think about when it comes to something like illusions, we don't know exactly how these things hunt.
It
They're
could be
quite-
better now,
Remember,
yes.
they definitely show intelligence. They ignored our horses and our carts initially to corral us into here to trap us. That is definitely that is definitely a hint of intelligence. Illusions may not work on them because there is definitely something.
But an illusion of a
not
person
normal
might.
with them.
Indeed.
Well, we don't know.
It's,
But we don't know. I don't want us to rely just.
No,
on
that's true.
illusion.
But you
That's
did
why I
actually do a
was
very.
thinking- That's why I was thinking something
Yeah.
physical. So they see
You
something
did
physical,
actually.
something fast.
so the idea was...
Just to clarify, by the way, the Deck of Illusions actually has a effective range of 120 feet, as long as you have line of sight of it.
Oh! Why did I think it was another thing? Hang on.
It's you can use an action to move the card magically as long as anywhere within 30 feet. The creature anywhere within 30 feet of the card.
Okay, so...
But as
Plan
long as you
would-
were within 120 feet of it, you can command the illusion.
Okay, so then the plan could be we make we make the sled, I pull a card from the deck, place it on the sled, push it out first, and then that presents itself as a juicy target. Because the illusion isn't static, it will behave just as the conjured creature would, and might be more enticing.
So this might have
Fine.
already been.
Combining both would be a good idea, I think. Yes. Then we also need to move fast. So the problem is that Ash, would we be able to bring up the map of the valley again by any chance?
Of course.
Thank you.
You'd also notice Muggs kind of sitting off to the side, pondering stuff.
Because from what we remember, we cross the bridge, and then we would need to immediately go left to go back out the gate.
Yes.
Which, if you guys remember,
And that bridge is sloped down, by the way.
I
So
did block
Mug's
it.
theory of the slope will actually work.
yeah,
Yes.
I did
Sled.
lock that gate, so that's something we need to think about as well. Unless they've opened it, which I don't know if they can climb. They might not need to worry. So that's another potential hurdle. So I did close and lock it when we came in, because we didn't know how well they could.
If you're large at the time, it could be possible to just brute force through and...
So I'm thinking we make.
If we make a sled, it would go
Um,
down the bridge and past that house.
yes, that's
Yeah.
the one with the illusion and as much distraction as possible. So that will slide down, hopefully drawing any attention first. Then we need everyone else to be able to move as quick as they can towards the gate. If the gate isn't locked, great. If the gate is locked, then I will become huge and just smash my way through it.
Ash, is
It'll
it possible
be
to
sturdy.
is it possible to adjust the scale on this to be a more accurate reflection of what we're dealing with?
Sure, give me a sec. But continue in the meantime.
Okay. Indeed.
Yeah,
So
Because, I think it was. I mean, maybe it was only 60 feet from the fence.
No,
Those-
it wasn't.
That was more than that. Okay.
would be some small houses if it was, unfortunately. So if we make our
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, oh yeah, that's like only 10 squares. Yeah.
it's been changed.
Has it? Yes, now
Yep.
it has. So there we go. That alone,
Jeez.
600 feet.
Yeah, that's for
That's
us
a-
10 rounds of sprinting.
Unless Sam,
Hmm?
the biggest animal with the most pulling strength, that might be suited for mountain. You might be able to transform.
Can you turn into a dire goat?
A dire goat or a giant reindeer, perhaps.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen one of
elk.
those.
Mega elk.
Let me have a quick
And-
look at my notes.
And even if you were not large, I could make you large for the sprint.
Yes, or just a goat.
I can become a horse or a cow. I can become an elk.
An elk.
I could give other creatures a go, but I haven't done
Well,
them
an
before.
elk might do the trick. Elk are made for colder climates, so you might be a bit more sure-footed than
So I don't know. Has anyone got any research notes on animals around in this place? I might be able to find something.
They are sufficiently lacking of research notes.
Unfortunately, book that might have been of use to you. I think I left it in the Xel'nari.
I'm unsure.
Because we need to be able to build up enough speed to travel towards that gate.
Indeed. I could make you a larger version of your creature of choice just to give you a greater pulling power if we are making several sleds. So one as a decoy and one to actually pull us.
That is a possibility. If we can make because looking at the wood here, because just trying to think, because winter's usually not the time that tribes would migrate, especially in the mountains. They would normally find a place to hunker down in that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more thinking, would Thalai know how to make a sled?
Yes. And snowshoes.
Snowshoes is a good point. I didn't think of snowshoes.
Yeah.
Also, can I just point out that elk has a base speed of 50 foot?
That's good.
Yeah, it does.
But remember, an elk will also be pulling something which could slow it down.
It has strength of 16.
And then when you become huge instead of large,
You will have advantage
Although-
on your checks as well. I mean, cows. I mean, some large beasts of burden count as one size larger if they're carrying or pulling.
Yeah, a riding horse also has a strength of 15, but it has a base movement speed of 60.
okay.
That's a riding horse. It's a bit different.
Yes, the only
So
thing
you'd be
about-
similar
I'm
to
worried-
that.
The only thing I'm worried about with the horse is that horses aren't usually made for cold climates, especially if there's ice underfoot, whereas an elk usually is sturdier.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what animal CR rating I can do at the moment with my.
It should be a
Station
half.
class features.
So it's a quarter at level 2, half at level 4, and 1 at level 8.
So I'm level 4, so the challenge rating should be a half.
Yes.
So 0 to a
Yep.
half.
At the light.
Filter monsters and the beast. I
think-
could possibly turn into an ape. That might not really help. Or a
Um,
bear.
We need something that's fast and strong for pulling.
Yeah. Elk might be the best bet at the moment.
I think elk would be the best bet.
I'm a giant seahorse, but
I would
Absolutely
agree
best option.
for an elk. So
Yeah.
we are to make.
or an ox. I might be able to turn into an ox. I haven't done that one before though.
No, I have not often seen an ox move fast, even in urgency.
Because if we can make... You've never seen oxen in Stampede then. But regardless,
No.
it's a sight. Anyway,
I'm from the city.
Or if I can get good at it, maybe a war horse. But I think elk's probably our best bet.
We did see
Yeah, we have seen
horses
horses.
not long ago.
But you did, I didn't. That's the problem.
yeah,
I'd be
sure
going
you
from,
would.
I'd be going from your
Well-
description of them.
You would have seen them around the Xel'nari grounds
Yeah,
at
that's
some
true.
point.
We've
Oh, okay,
definitely seen war horses there.
Then, I mean, I haven't done a war horse, but I can give it a go. They're strength 18.
That would go really well.
So
because then, with you doing that, you would be definitely fast enough to...
Yeah.
You would definitely be fast enough to get us at least to the edge towards the cards. With that, we
They've
might-
got, I mean, they've
we might
definitely
be
got
able to,
a decent speed, and like,
depending on how large of a sled we can make, if it's safe.
I'm pretty,
enough, we
I'm
might
pretty
not
sure
need
I've seen
to
a
worry
horse
about the
trample
cards.
someone.
And I can make you faster.
So
If-
you got your choices. You got either got me potentially attempting a war horse because I've not done one before, or I go for an elk.
I think an elk, just
Ah,
because
yes.
they would have the sturdiness.
And I can make you faster. I can prepare Longstrider and make your dash, your sprint be.
Ooh.
I can increase your speed by 10 feet for an hour.
Yeah, actually, looking at elks.
60.
And enlarge though, because he will need to be bigger to pull a sleigh that can hold him.
Yeah, the only
Longstrider
problem.
doesn't take concentration.
Okay.
The only. Yeah, I think warhorse might be the better option. Elks aren't actually that hardy.
I'm gonna be popping so many spells.
AKA armor class of 10, hit points 13.
Yep.
Whereas a warhorse, armor class of 11, hit points 19. But still not the greatest, but it's not my strong suit.
Okay, Brady.
Does
Mug
the
sort of comes
have
out of his.
trait that will know him to certain terrains?
What was that, the lie?
Does the elk have any
No,
notes
no
about-
special abilities.
Yeah.
So Mug sort of comes out of his thoughts and goes,
We could cast
I
Maze
think
on-
Storm was right, or at least partially right. The others failed because they fought. They wasted time fighting. I think what we need to do is just move.
But Storm was just
No,
talking about fighting.
no. As I said, partially. If we go and don't waste any time that is not getting us further from this town. So we take the sled for as long as we can. It gives people an opportunity to be on the sled and shooting with bows or whatever else and doing their thing. When that spell runs out or you're no longer able to do it, we sprint, we keep moving. And just get to the edge and keep Kovek alive.
Yes, please.
Well, not
mean-
for nothing, but your spell is what will save us.
The speed?
No. The ability to jump off a cliff and not die.
Yes. This sounds like a good plan.
That's
I-
if
I-
we can sit uncomfortably in those two carts, though, I can enlarge myself.
No.
No? Because
No.
all I have to do is last for one jump.
Yes, but every single round we spend getting in there, we lose any lead we have.
I
Yeah.
be able to transform myself into a large creature in a single turn, as well as move while grabbing those carts.
Yep.
So people are able to jump from the sleigh into the carts in one turn. They do not have to be comfortable, and it would be not for a very long time.
It will not be that easy. You're talking about coordinating a bunch of people.
Ash, a question. How much room was there on the road to potentially pass our carts with another vehicle?
Which road are you talking about? The
So-
switchback road of the mountain or down the mountain?
The road we took up and where we parked our carts outside the gate. Is there room, like...
Outside the gate, there is enough room for probably 3 carts side by side.
Okay, so...
Right at the very top at the entrance is actually quite wide. The switchback path itself is barely wide enough for the cart.
Okay, so we could pass our own carts with Mug's plan if need be. I say both are valid strategies. It could be worth playing it by ear if we have the time to jump down with both carts. Do it. If it seems too dangerous, flee and just carry on going.
Whatever we're planning, we need Storm.
Of course. She has just stormed off. In which direction did Storm off to?
No one was paying attention.
Because we're planning!
Yes.
Oh, Sam was.
And
I didn't say it, but Sam was paying attention.
As you have started to pay attention, you have noticed that the storm outside has really picked up.
Oh, she's gone outside to the cart.
She has not gone out. Well, I don't know. Maybe
No, it just means that for all our planning, they're going to storm in through a window and attack us in the middle of this building, because that's where the battle map is. I mean, I'm not saying it.
No, we're not saying that we're on a battle map.
I made the battle map because
Metagaming
there was
in
always
my
a chance.
game? How dare!
I made the battle map because there was always a chance that Thalai would just kill these guys.
That's honestly fair.
They didn't say anything to me. They get to live for now.
There was always the chance. You always prepare for the worst outcome.
I
mean-
appreciate you being prepared, just in case.
In fairness, that would have made this entire plan a lot simpler. Because if we killed them all, we wouldn't have to worry about
What you're
rescuing them.
saying is, we kill them
There were
all
no
in their
survivors.
sleep now. We kill them all in their sleep now, and we just go.
No!
Well, several of the guards are still awake and keeping watch at the door.
Ah,
But Storm is missing.
yes.
She is nowhere to be seen on this floor. And I'll move us back over to the
Okay.
Hey, Thog, did you see where Storm went?
Where did she go? She was right here beside me.
I'm gonna look for her. Yeah, I'll go look for her.
Would you like some company?
Sure.
I conjure wisteria on your shoulder, and my eyes just roll back in my head.
Always disturbing.
Now, Storm, what are you doing?
She
I know you've
is...
messaged me, but I'll get you actually.
Yep. Storm stormed off while still having levitate active, therefore did not actually have her feet touching the ground, and hid as high as she possibly could in one of the towers.
She's in the rafters.
Basically, yes. And is probably literally sitting in the rafters with her legs hanging off the edge, bundled up in her cloaks. And she is holding the sending stone very ponderingly in her hands.
Okay. So who is looking for Storm?
I am.
Alright. Can I get a perception check from you, Wisteria, and I'll do one for Thog, because of course Thog will be looking for it.
Since I'm using her eyes, I'll use my perception. So 14.
23.
Got 21.
I saw her better.
I think it would be an investigation first to see if they could find her location.
No, because they're not looking for information on it. They are simply looking around for you.
Fair enough.
So it is a perception-based thing.
enough. Okay.
It will probably take a while still of you searching through this place. It is still quite a large fort, being 3 stories tall. And it'd probably be about an hour before you finally find her at the top of one of the towers.
The first person who walks into the room, she throws a ball bearing at.
That would be why you found her. Probably Sam.
I use a key point to throw it back at.
She doesn't do it like menacingly, probably not even hitting you with it, but she throws it.
Yeah. Like, found her.
Looks like, how the bloody hell'd you get up there?
Upon seeing this, I'm gonna stop paying attention through Hysteria and physically go there myself.
Storm responds to Thog. She shrugs. Magic?
Don't like magic.
Hmm.
I can't do it.
You can do magic. That's what your fists are.
That's not. Oh, I mean, it's supposedly magic. I do make them go sleepies. Bless you.
People you punch go sleepies.
We use the power of friendship. Also, the fact that you threw a ball bearing at me helped.
I was kind of hoping it was the lie.
What you doing all the way
Nah.
up there, anyways? We just got together. It's not safe out here.
I was getting a different perspective on things.
No, that's a good shout. That's a good shout.
Did you make a plan?
There is a plan potentially, but
Does it
I
still
believe
risk
we need
these
your
soldiers?
input.
There's plans and backup plans, and honestly, it hurt my head after a while, so I stopped listening.
I don't want to lose anyone on this, but we also have to realize that there is a possibility we can't save everyone. I'm not saying that is the first plan to shove them out. Yes, they can deal with it, but with the odds of what we're up against, we need to realize that even some of us might not be coming back, potentially. I don't know.
I still believe.
There is no certainty here.
I still believe we are stronger than the soldiers, because we have had
yeah.
more training in things like this, of magic and of unnatural things.
Oh, I believe that entirely, 100%. Yeah, like, you know, magic. You went up there. You did a probably, I don't know, climb, floated, something. I don't think we can take however many of those creatures out there.
We should
By
not try
ourselves.
to, though. It would be stupid.
So our best bet is to run, and that's what we're gonna do.
We need a distraction first. We should be trying to avoid them at all cost, and only
Mhm.
fight if we have
Totally
to.
use that big firework.
I want to use it.
Yeah.
Can I have arrived at this point?
Yes.
Okay.
Storm will jump down from the rafters. I can jump 25 feet with taking no fall damage.
Yeah.
She just jumps straight down, lands on her feet.
Just showing off now.
Oh.
You floated down as much as I can move. Rude.
No, she didn't float. She just foomp, lands on all fours
you-
and gets back
Yeah,
up.
I mean,
Did I hear a conversation about a distraction?
Yes.
Yeah.
Big boom boom. We are gonna need that firework.
Well, I have the makings of an initial plan. I haven't explained to you the functionality of this deck. It creates an illusion. I'm unsure of the shape, but it should be sufficiently menacing and distracting there is something else I was considering including with the sledge that we sent out.
Sled? We have
Yes.
sled?
We are. Thalai is quite experienced in mountaineering-based handicrafts. I'm sure he is preparing to assemble the required sleds at this very moment. So the plan is, I will pull forth a card, or perhaps have Wisteria pull forth a card, leave her on this sled, push it out, and have that pose as an initial distraction. Should that be insufficient, I see that this large firework you purchased has a decently long wick,
I can light it from a distance.
as can I. And so, if it were to be launched, should the illusion itself be an insufficient distraction, the firework going off will be something. Though it is loud.
That is the
Which-
point. It will grab attention.
Yes, but it will also potentially cause an avalanche. So I would like to be able to include your plan, but you're the one saying yourself how you want to prevent risk and loss of life for ourselves and others, and I'm concerned that the firework is itself a risk. But
Correct. I have a thought.
Yes?
Is it possible that all of the creatures that we are trying to fight or escape from could actually just be all of the people that have gone missing?
This was a thought that had come across, especially since they only seem to be targeting humans specifically. It's a repopulation strategy.
It is possible that these people could also be saved. These creatures may not be permanently what they are. So we should, in theory, in knowing this possibility, or not actually knowing whether it is possibility or not, be trying to escape with little harm on both ends. Because we could just be killing a baker.
Yes, but if the baker is killing us, and the willpower of what that person was holds no sway over whether or not I die, I will kill them first.
If it's like a vampire thing, I'm assuming we'd all know about vampires. Hold on, let me just think about this thing before I do that.
We would know
Like, you know,
myths
in
and legends.
stories.
We
Yeah,
would
like
know myths
they
and
stories
legends.
that
Yeah.
they'd say about vampires, and if you killed the head vampire, all the ones underneath it would turn back.
I have read certain
But-
stories like that, yes.
Yeah, we literally have no idea about these things.
But
There are
it's-
sometimes points of no return as well. Not saying that's what this is, but
Well-
there is too much uncertainty.
We have been dealing a lot with curses, and from my
Yeah, we
perspective,
really have.
from
Can
my
you-
perspective, this is looking very similar, or at least like a magic that might not be permanent in the best case scenario.
So,
All curses can be reversed,
so,
in theory, but I
you
don't
are
really
there.
know.
so you are pleading caution. Upon pondering what you had to say, Mug was suggesting just the same. The current plan is we make a distraction and attempt to flee as quickly as possible. If people's immediate lives are in danger, they will defend themselves. But otherwise, we aren't going out of our way to massacre. Does that?
Plus, I'm just adding this in as well. If these people are the missing people, this is the Dendro way, and we learnt earlier what the leader she had to do to her own father. It is their way, their choice. We cannot. I'm just doing the whole intermediate mediator thing. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong.
What did I miss while I was scouting? Good heavens!
Yeah. Her father got bitten, and before he could transform, she killed him.
Ah.
It was like this is like their way of if like she's probably going to do the same thing to the elf
Of course,
if
good.
need.
I believe he
Be-
requested it.
Yeah, but this is also like when you save some people, and it's like this is not my way. There's lots of things.
Okay, I can respect their way, but my way, the way of my people, or at least the way I was brought up, was to try and save people before you kill them. Which, now that I think about it, is rather ironic and pretty hypocritical, because they like to kill all of the strangers that appeared on our island. But I didn't know that at the time, and I still think it is wrong. And oh, I got the sidetrack. Sorry.
So
It's fine. We've also dealt with a lot of gnomes.
we currently lack the means to effectively cure or help any of these people. Our best bet of helping them is escaping, and our best bet of escaping is surviving, which will mean potentially fighting them. Are you okay with that?
I think we should focus more on running.
Yes.
On defense and running. If
While
we
we are
have
running, yes.
if we have to defend ourselves, this is reasonable, but
Okay.
we should not be looking for a fight. Also, I know you have attachment to the cards, and I know that Thug also has attachment to his card, but there comes a time when we have to let go of our attachments to material objects.
Except for money.
We can come back for it. The creatures seem to have no interest in it, only living things.
If that's the case, then bugger it, let's go.
Yeah.
If we
So
can run or escape faster by not worrying about the cards, maybe it's the way to go. I'm sorry, Sam.
It's okay. I'm just doing this to let you know that I have something I wish to say, so when you are done, we are good.
What would you like to say?
First and foremost, we need to keep ourselves safe. And then we can concentrate on others. The only thing we can't account is what the other Demu are going to do. We can't account for their actions in this.
If they choose to
have
fight
we
and to kill,
Talk to them.
Not yet, but it's just an overall, this is the plan. I mean, we haven't even got Thalai. Why do we keep having plans and meetings without everyone here?
can we go back down to the main hall and we can have a sincere conversation, including Thalai, where the two of you don't bite each other's heads off?
Come on, Storm. Sam puts their hand out to you, like, take your hand, and like, we'll go.
She'll take your hand, but you will be dragging her behind, like she's dragging her feet, and she's groaning, like growling the whole way.
I would have thought that you would be doing that to Sam, because Sam can't walk as fast as you can.
Nope. She is dragging her feet, and that's how you know she's
Sam
coming
is trying
along.
to move, and it's like watching as someone's very small, like doing the walking, but they're not moving anywhere. They're just kind of doing this in the same place.
No. She's letting you drag her. She's just being pointedly grumpy about it. She's going because she loves you guys and trusts you, but she's not happy about it.
These are very high-stake environment things at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
We've all butt heads, haven't we? I look immediately at Kovac. In a loving way.
No comment.
Storm is more sensitive than she looks.
I plead the fifth. Let's go.
She also grabs Thog's hand on the way out and drags him out.
I'll close along. He's not being a petulant child.
So it it kind of looks like a weird weekend out with like an adopted child.
Basically. I mean, it'd be weirder if like Thog and Storm were either side and Sam was in the middle. Yeah, let's go.
She'll pick up her ball bearing on the way out too.
Nah, it's gone. It's mine now. You threw it at me. No,
Well, you can have it if you want.
ball
As
bearing.
you start
Catapult.
making your way back down through the tower.
No.
Back down.
Oh, did I get a response from Bada, by the way?
No, you never said anything.
I did.
No, you didn't. I told you to say it out loud, and you did not.
You said you were looking at the stone longingly. That's the only time you mentioned it.
No, she was fiddling around with it because she'd already sent the response, the message. But I didn't realize that was needing to be mentioned.
Yes, I prefer it to be out and about.
But it wasn't in the presence of anyone else.
Doesn't matter.
We can plug our ears.
The audience wants to know,
is
Alice.
listening.
The audience wants to know.
participation.
Mhm.
Alright, well, the message she sent to Barda while she was sitting up in the rafters before everyone else got there was, "Hi, Barda, it's Storm. Miss you. We are at. What was this place? Minimosa?
Monominoto.
Mimosas. I think I went to Hebrew school with her.
Place.
Minimoto, something like that.
They are not good. Need to escape. Many dead magic monsters. We are making plans. Very weird message, but yes.
And aggressively misleading.
You did not get a response from her.
Okay. That would be why she was grumpily looking at this. Well, not grumpy, but like pointedly looking at the stone.
As you are making your way back down through the tower, you hear shuffling in one of the rooms on the second floor.
Didn't kill our father.
Can we?
Do we
stop
all
and
hear
listen?
it, or was it?
Yes, actually, you would all have heard it. Well, obviously not Bug and Thly.
Yeah, it's like. Hello?
Shh. What is?
I'll check. I'll approach the door, place a palm on it, and conjure Wisteria on the opposite side, and look.
As you look through, you see a darkened room. The only light coming in through an open window on the left side of the wall. And you can see the storm blowing in, snow being blown into the window. The moonlight there giving just a little bit of light across the scenery. The room itself looks to be a rather elaborate bedroom. And then out of the corner of Wisteria's eye, she sees movement. Turning to the side, you see one of these wolf-like creatures slowly prowling up in the darkness towards her.
Gone.
You hear a scuttling of claws from the other side, and something bodily hits the door, as it obviously made a lunge at Wisteria before you made her disappear.
Storm jumps and her fur all goes up on end.
I'm not wasting 10 gold.
What was that?
Seems that one of them has managed to get inside.
It's one of the creatures. It's inside. How secure is this door?
It starts actively scratching at it. You can hear the door rattling, and it trying to break its way through.
Talai!
What you're doing?
Getting help.
Can I hear Kovac?
Probably not. Kovac is the next story up through 3 different rooms to get up to you.
At this point, I would be gathering wood together and starting to make the sleds. Just so you know what I was doing in all this time was happening.
I'll get you to make me a wood crafting tools check.
I don't actually have wood.
We're on the second floor. In this tower, is there like a drop down the middle?
There is a central chimney.
But
not
does
a
it reach all
drop-down.
the way to the ground?
Yes, it goes from the ground all the way up to the top of the building.
So,
She's gonna grab a small firecracker from her boobs, light it, and drop it down the chimney, hoping that it'll grab their attention.
No, you don't have access to the chimney shaft. It's from the bottom floor. There's a chimney that goes all the way
Right,
up.
and the stairs go around it? Shit.
No,
Okay.
the stairs in the tower off to the side. The chimney itself is in the center at the back.
No,
of
I'm
the-
saying the staircase we're going up. Is there a way straight down the middle?
No, you're not in the staircase at the moment just yet.
Oh,
Yes, you
where are we at
off.
the moment?
You're just in the hall leading to the staircase.
Okay.
So, I don't actually have proficiency in wood tools.
Mhm.
So, what do I roll here?
It would just be a straight D20 then.
Just straight into it. Oh, boy.
However, you do have the faith and belief of an awesome bard, so have an extra D8.
Yay.
And
Well,
and-
see if I need to roll that first.
And friendship is a kind of magic.
Well, rolling a straight D20 and the D8. It wasn't very strong magic, I'm sorry to say. Sorry to stay mug. It was only a 1 inspiration. For a total of 8.
They look more like tables that have been turned upside down because that's basically what you've done. You have attempted to try and make them a little bit more dynamic and add a bit of a lip to them. They'll pass. They probably won't hold up very well, but it should get the job done.
Do you want some help there, buddy?
Yes. It's been a very long time.
Seeing how average they turned out, can I retroactively assist to give him advantage?
You can.
To allow him to roll again? Yeah.
So I'm just rolling another D20, so it was a...
Yep.
Yep. Well, thanks to it being at advantage, it's a total of 13 instead of a total of 8.
It's come out a bit better with Mug's help.
I was able to hold the things to allow you to use 2 hands on it at the same time.
I also using one of my hand axes, damn
Hmm.
thing, because I actually don't have the tools, so it's
Well,
definitely choppy.
it's nothing fancy, but I mean, with the legs of the table on there, at least you've got something for people to hold on to as it goes.
Yeah. I would also like to I'd just like to just keep working at it because I've got at the moment, as far as Thalai is aware, there is nothing else for
Alright.
him to do right now.
Oh,
So yeah,
no.
he will work on them for as long as he needs to make them better.
I'm gonna reconjure Wisteria and send her down the stairs to go and aggressively wing slap Thalai in the face.
I was gonna say Storm will probably actually just run down and get Thalai because she's the fastest person here.
Okay.
So I've got Wisteria just flapping me in the face.
No. Storm will beat Wisteria. She can move 120 feet around if she applies herself.
So can Wisteria.
Zoom.
So can Wisteria?
Yeah.
Okay, well Wisteria is
Race!
above
Race.
her. I will have to burn a key point to do so though. But she will. Storm will say, "Wait here," and she will run and get Thalai, or she'll run to Thalai.
You can hear the creature just scratching at the door and trying to break its way through. It doesn't seem to have been making progress on it yet.
How did it get in?
There was an open window.
There was an open window.
That's like my theory of it, like being The Walking Dead. Spoiler alert, by the way.
Why was there an open window? Seems incredibly foolish.
But yeah, the whole thing of they find this farm and they're like, yeah, we had to get rid of everyone, and then they go to the barn and all of the relatives are there as zombies, just kept. They feed them chickens.
Terrifying.
That's-
I was thinking that's why I was thinking it was the dad. He didn't actually die. He was just kept up here instead.
Yeah, maybe, honestly. I was wondering that myself. This is an invaluable opportunity for study.
As you were standing there, Storm gets down to Thalai, but as you were standing there, Kovac, thinking to yourself, good form of study, you hear it make that same kind of heckling kind of call out that you've heard before.
Oh no.
And then outside you hear it very faint and distant through the wood and the storm. You hear that echoed back. And then again, and again, and again and again.
Well, whatever we're doing is happening now.
Storm will
God
run up
damn it.
to Thalai and just wide-eyed just go, Thalai, upstairs now, and run off.
I mean, I'm like, is that Wisteria or is that just Kovac going, hey?
Wisteria gets down and is just like.
And then she will say that, not even waiting for a response, run back up to where the others are.
And I'll just pass the hand axe I was using to Mug and just go like, I'll see what she wants. She'll just keep working on these.
Hurry up!
She had a quiet sense of urgency, wasn't it?
Oh yes, very much so.
Like panicked,
Follow up as well. Yeah.
panicked, like, ah! You know what Panic Cat looks like. You've seen Panic Cat. She's
Yeah,
very
but-
expressive about Panic Cat.
Yeah, but Thalai's also seen Storm overreact for a lot of different things. And he's also in a bit of
No,
a
no, no.
mood.
There's a
And
difference between
underreact as well.
excited cat and Panic Cat.
He
Mug
is
will also
coming
run
up,
back
but
up the stairs.
yeah, he's following up, and he's like, and like just muttering, he's like, "Oh, it's all right. You just drop whatever you're doing to try and save everyone. It's fine. It's just fine." Just as he's sprinting up behind.
I'll just,
Faster! She says from over the stairs.
upon hearing Storm coming back, I'm just gonna yell, "There's one up here and there's more coming!"
Oh, the music's changed.
Oh no! Oh no!
Why are you playing anime-style battle music?
Because this gotta be anime proportion. We're dead. We're so dead.
I suplex the train!
Oh boy.
It's not Latin.
Yeah.
It's
You,
not Latin.
you get upstairs and you can hear the sound of the thing breaking at the door, and you can hear the wood chips starting to shatter.
Is there a gap under the under the door?
Yes, a very tiny one. Yes.
How tiny? Like, could I fit like a small string of fireworks there?
Potentially you might have one small enough. Yes.
Couldn't she try and slip one under the door to try and deter it from attacking the door? Just to startle it for a
You
moment.
can definitely try.
Yes, I would like to try.
Yeah, pull one out and light it and send it under.
Yep.
You hear it go as it starts popping off on the other side, and you hear a bit of a yelp from the thing as it jumps back. And
Bridge!
it seems to have stopped for a moment. I assume you're breaking in then.
I don't want the light to at that point.
It wasn't my intention. I was just trying to like provide us extra time.
So it just jumped back.
You have seconds to respond to this, or I will do its action.
I have activated the poison on my blade.
I am going to open the door to let it in so we can deal with it.
I'm going to ready an action to cast a spell.
What are you casting, and what's the trigger?
Web. And if and when I have eyes on the creature.
I'm preparing to draw blades for my bracer.
Mug is going to ready Thalai's hand axe to throw at the thing. He gave me a hand axe. I now have a weapon.
Fair enough.
Alright. And that's where we're in tonight, because it is...
Ah, no!
if
I'm
we
such a
start a fight
bitch.
now, we'll be playing for a very long time.
It's
I'm
Anzac
not
Day
with that.
tomorrow. Oh.
I have work tomorrow.
Yeah, so do I
boo.
actually.
I don't.
Boo.
Yeah,
It's
well,
only
Hey,
you
Welcome to
commoners.
1:30 for me. I'm fine.
So what you're saying is that Rory's going to run a one-shot D&D game for us tomorrow because some of us don't have work?
No, I have another D&D game to run for other people tomorrow evening, unfortunately.
I will be playing a session 0 of a different D&D game tomorrow.
We're all nerds.
Mhm.
Yep,
I'm working and then playing D&D in the evening as well.
I have work.
We're
This-
working and then doing the Horde night for 7 Days to Die.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Well, no, you are.
Yeah.
I'm.
You
going...
don't even want to be there for it because you hate zombies.
Coward.
Yes.
Coward.
Yes. You got a problem with that?
This, for me, is day one of 3 back-to-back D&D, like role-playing game evenings, and I'm keen because I've had work interfering for a few weeks, so
Well,
I'm jazzed.
if everything goes to plan, it will be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday will be my D&D games again. And then Thursdays for Gloomhaven starting up again.
Yeah, we
Ooh,
are
Gloom-
super nerds.
I've
Mhm.
always wanted to play Gloomhaven so bad.
Hella fun, you
Actually,
gotta play
a
it.
lot of fun. There is also, I think, a version on Steam
Yes, there is.
if you
which,
want to play online
it's-
with
it's a-
friends.
It's a little bit buggy, but it does work. Could do that. Totally do that.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Thank you all for coming to join us.
Yeah, fuck. We didn't even have a break. We were so involved in what we were doing.
We didn't, did we?
No. My
That's
ass
crazy.
cheeks hurt.
It's because we started a bit late, so I wanted us to just go straight through it. But
lie.
yes, next
joking.
week we will find out what is actually going to happen here.
I won't be here.
Yeah.
Oh, I might be able to wangle something. I might be able to wangle.
Please. It's a good plan. It's a good plan we have. Right, Ash?
I'm gonna be in the Netherlands.
You know what?
I just now need to make a new battle map for potential sled shenanigans and all the potential outcomes of sled shenanigans.
I was like jumping off a cliff. Yeah, that's gonna be a big challenge for the flipping Roll20, which has issues with properly big maps.
You're probably gonna have to make a bundle of smaller maps.
I also know we've been talking about like the cart, blah blah blah, but it's like I have a lot of shit in that cart that I really don't want to leave behind.
Yep.
Because there's like,
We can come back for it.
I don't think.
If we can find
Yep.
it.
We can come back for it.
I don't
Storm
think
has
we
no
can.
attachment to materialistic objects, so she
Well,
is.
You didn't spend a lot of money.
You can
buying
have all her money.
metals.
You can have all 150 gold of it.
I don't care
She
about
has
the money.
no-
I care about the adamantium that is super rare and hard to get a fucking grasp on, as well as other metals.
Not more important than people's lives.
Well, I mean, a bunch of racists utilize metals.
Nope.
Oh, look what's worth more.
Nope. Not more important than people's lives.
So,
Uh,
the thrilling conclusion next week.
yes.
Mm-hmm. I'm not at all convinced that it's going to end next week, though. I feel like it's going to be like a.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to
Maybe
be
a multi-part session. Yes.
Yeah.
a fight, and then maybe we have to like aggressively fast track the plan and leave now
Or it's gonna be something.
without
If we kill
any of my
that thing,
prepared spells.
if we kill that thing very quickly, and then seal up everything, including that window, before the other things get there, we might be okay.
Like, I haven't prepared enlarge reduce today. I need the rest to prepare enlarge reduce.
All I
That's what
can
I'm
say
saying.
is my GM screen for this map looks very different to what you see.
Oh, I'm scared.
Oh
It's
no.
It's just possibilities, is all I will say.
I'm gonna say it's full of those fucking wolf things. It's just full of it.
It's full of potential broken things and wolf things and
When we go downstairs and all the people have actually also turned into wolf things and the entire castle's a giant mimic.
No,
Look,
you know what?
look.
You know what?
For
It's-
all
it's
we
just an
know,
ancient white dragon. It's just an ancient white dragon.
honestly,
Boy.
for all we know, these people are all actually just wolf people, and they're currently just protected from turning into the wolf things.
Yeah.
Oh,
Once we
are
are
you
done,
talking about if it's that plot from fucking that fairy tale sort of episode where they think they're cursed to be monster people, but they're actually monster people that.
it was the
have
other way
been brought-
around. Yeah, I live. Spoiler alert. But once we're
it's
done
that
with this,
vague,
I
they
re-
won't know what it is.
Yeah. Overall, once this is done, I really want to know what these things are and how I can put them into my games. 'Cause these are amazing. These wolves thingies.
They're
fun.
potentially also slightly homebrewed by Ash.
They are definitely.
Don't care.
fun.
Want to know.
All right, well,
So-
we should probably wrap things up.
We're gonna raid.
Yeah, who are we raiding, guys? Who are we
gentlemen.
raiding?
Don't know.
Oh god. Let's see. Who do I even have online right now?
I've got some people.
Hato
none of them
Hero
are
is playing
doing
Dungeons and
D&D.
Dragons.
Yeah, I did see that. Shiro's playing Risk Arena 2. Participation Awards playing Dungeons and Dragons. I also have... Yeah, that's as much as I've got, really.
Under the D&D tag, there's one listed as a 24-hour charity birthday stream.
Oh,
Yeah.
promising.
We can raid that one.
Wisdom Master 1.
Love a birthday stream.
Birthday stream.
Love a charity stream.
Love a charity stream. That's what it was. I don't know why I said birthday.
It's both.
If it's both, amazing.
I guess why not? Let's throw them some
Let's do it.
Yeah. Throw 'em some
affection.
Where is the love?
What are they playing? I don't think they're playing Dungeons and Dragons anymore, though.
Well, if
Yeah.
it's still a sub,
Oh no, they're playing Dungeons and Dragons Online. Archer Point is where they currently are. Okay.
do it. Why
It's
not?
close enough. Why not? Let's try something
Yeah.
new.
Let's go.
Good night, Kit.
Let's
Thank you for joining us,
go.
and good luck with your games. I hope you get to have a few more thrown in there soon. What were they called again? Wisdom Master 1. There we go. Why not? I'm going to bop us over to our end screen, and we will catch you on Tuesday for our Stars Without Number game, should everything go to plan. Run by Rory, down below. Yeah, our maniacal space master. Oh my god, I'm so terrified. Please stop. Please.
Hey,
Our
Rory,
lives are very much at
Rory.
risk in that game right now. But yes.
When I get the money, I'll give you another reroll.
No! The DMs have so many rerolls right now.
The DMs
more,
have so
give me
many
more.
rerolls.
Give me more.
Like,
I'm just
no,
giving it to Rory.
seriously.
Ash has enough.
No, seriously.
Well, I can't give them to you, Ash, can I?
And you can.
Rory already has 3 rerolls. He's fine. He doesn't need more than that. No.
No, I
Does
do.
not.
I definitely do.
Does not.
I really,
No,
really do.
no,
Please,
no,
please,
no.
please.
No.
It'll be a while. I've only got 4.
I can give 165 of them away, but I'm in every game, so...
So, the dearest space party are preparing to dive into an alien spaceship in another dimension.
Yeah, we're
Tina.
fucked. I mean, gonna have a great time. Allying with the enemy. I mean, militant government of another planet. And with that, I'm going to pop us to our end screen, and we're going to go raid this channel. Have a great night, day, or whatever time of day it is for y'all, and we'll see you next time. Toodaloo!
Yeah.